You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men power want? More power.
My name is luca-zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a dream. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom.
We're not afraid. You work for us. We're not just...
Here we go. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM. And on United States.FM network. And guess what? Can you hear the background noise? Yes, I am broadcasting today from my truck. I am on the road. Exactly, I am just back from Phoenix, Arizona. The last place in the state that I would like to stay. But guess what? Sometimes it's good to go back to the past, places that normally in my past I hated. I hate cities, I hate towns, I hate traffic, I hate overcrowded, I hate smog, I hate ass. Can I say ass on the radio? I guess so. Ass and holes. Two different words. Anyway, but the beautiful thing was I had a great experience at the gun show. Yes, the Phoenix gun show. It is probably the biggest gun show in Arizona. So that part was good. When I was there at the gun show, I enjoyed it. We had a great time. I met a lot of people. A couple of days I've been there. I had to come back a little earlier. So tonight, Saturday night, this is the recording. Saturday night, I had to pack and come back because tomorrow I'm going to be busy. But regardless, it was a great experience, the gun show itself. Problem is, I can't stand the city. And nothing wrong, I'm sure that people from Phoenix may love their town, they love their city. That's fine, guys. That's why there is a place for everybody, I believe everybody should follow their instinct. My instinct is stay in the middle of nowhere. I love the high desert, I love the open spaces, I love Arizona, the rural Arizona. Okay? In general, since I was a child, I love open spaces. I do not like overcrowded places where everybody's on top of each other. And of course, on top, everything's worse, in my opinion, because when you got too many people in one place, you have always too many idiots in one place. That's the reality. It's a statistic game. But anyway, thank God, even after my nightmares experiences, I got lost probably every time I was getting out of that place. I got lost at the county fair, the state fair, whatever it's called. I mean, last night, for example, I was looking for Chipotle, something that from the state fair takes exactly 5 minutes. Leave it to me, even with the GPS, it took me 1 hour and 28 minutes to find Chipotle. After, of course, I spent all day working at the show, and I was kind of hungry. And in the rush hour, being lost, hungry, and I had to go to the bathroom, of course. That was a beautiful moment. I really enjoyed that moment. And especially, it's funny. When you are in these highways, or let's say even in the main cities, roads, streets, whatever you call them, and they know that you probably are an idiot like me coming from out of town, and I missed that exit, or I'm almost missing that exit, and I'm on the wrong lane, and you try to wave your hands outside, say, please, let me go there, I'm sorry. They love it, and they push on the accelerator, and they don't let you even try to correct your exit or something like that. So, thank you very much. That was very nice of you. Regardless, my grandfather used to tell me, whatever doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. I believe that. But at the same time, I say, you know what? I'm telling you. And then I want to move on. We move on to the show. Never going to go back to freaking Phoenix unless there is really an important matter. And not even about money. There is no money that can freak me, buy me my peace of mind and my happiness. Okay? because I can't stand that freaking hole. That's the bottom line. Anyway, right now, as you can hear the noise, it's night. It's completely dark. I'm on the 93. I just passed Wickenburg. I love it. I think there is that song, Country Home, Bring Me Home, the famous late, songwriter from the 70s. Forgot the name, but when I was in Italy, I used to listen to these songs. I understand what he meant now. Country home, take me home. Please, God, help me. And so that's I am here. I'm heading home, and I was tempted this weekend to say, maybe I shouldn't do the show. After all, I've been very busy. I had a great weekend. Been working very hard, introducing the Freedom Rifle, the Don't Tread on Us rifle. Great success. We have a great response. I mean, that rifle, I'm so amazed. I'm a nobody, okay? I'm probably the last guy in town when it comes down to gun brands and everything. But from an idea, I was able to put together this concept rifle, the Don't Tread on Us rifle, that when comparing it to all the other products, this gun show, it's huge. There are hundreds of brands and companies selling very great stuff for great prices, okay? Especially now after, the Hillary witch is gone, we got much more real market, no more hyper inflated market. It's going to be much more reasonable prices. So regardless, my rifle, the Don't Tread on Us rifle, with a package of free bonuses that you get for just $499, and with all the also lifetime warranty that you get, the service. I tell you, I could have sold, I don't know, so many rifles that I couldn't bring enough. Okay? And my point is, I was just there to display, mostly to promote it. Great response, and I'm very excited because I see that there is I like to compete in a professional way. I think it's always good to create competition. It's good to create in free market better things for better prices, and I think I got the best product for the price. There is nobody gets close for $4.99 and gives you what I give you. And I want to just bring it back. Probably you already know this is not the hour about guns, but I need to bring it back a little bit. I don't even talk enough about this. First of all, you should go to freedomrifle.com, and you can see exactly what is all the package, and watch the videos. I mean, I put a lot of love in showing how this rifle can perform out of the box, with a rear sight, iron sight, front sight, all iron sights. Once the rifle is zeroed, you can get 4 minutes of angle, no benches involved, just the sling from prone position. I can keep the group in 1 square inch at 25 yards. 1 square inch, black 1 square inch, all there, with cheap ammo, Russian ammo, steel case. So just to give you an idea, more important, you have an incredible product for $499. Lifetime warranty on the lower. Is a plum crazy Generation 2. Incredible product. I'm so proud. Ed Mack, I met him years ago, and we are collaborating. He got an incredible product, and it's the heart of this rifle. I really believe that. And it gives you a lifetime warranty. That's amazing. And the lower, I tell you, a lot of people out there, sometimes, they always think the polymer, this is a polymer, but it's a Generation 2. They talk down about the polymer. They think, after all, the aluminum is better. The aluminum is better. Guess what? Check the videos out. This lower in polymer can perform, and more important, it's more resistant and stronger than aluminum. We did a video putting this lower, plum crazy lower, Generation 2, on the asphalt in the middle of summer in Havasu. And when I say on the asphalt, I mean asphalt, not just some sand or like mud or dirt where you can really play around with that. No, we put it on the hard asphalt, and we ran it over with an Humvee, more than 10,000 pounds Humvee, twice. No even a scratch, no even a dent. Just to give you an idea how strong it is. Okay? And what I like also about this lower, you have the trigger is in polymer, but it's so strong that's why they give you lifetime warranty. And also, don't forget, you get an amazing deal with the rest of the package. For example, not only you get the beautiful lower, but you get the upper, Don't Tread on Us upper. That is my design, is exactly under my specifications. In 223 Wild, that something for me was kind of new a couple years ago. But with the 223 Wild, you can shoot 5.56 NATO and 223 Remington. That's right there. It's a great thing. But people can say, I can shoot 223 and 5.56 also with a regular 5.56 barrel. That's true. But guess what? With this 223 Wild, you can also shoot heavier bullets. For example, 75 grains, because you have a twist ratio of 1.9 instead of 1.7. Okay, that normally you get with a 5.56. So right there, I think it's kind of a very interesting concept. And then we found out by accident that when you do, for example, use the cheapest ammo like the Wolf or Brown Bear with a steel case, normally the regular 5.56 chamber and barrels, they don't like very much those steel case. I tell you, my Bushmaster, for example, doesn't really like them that much. With this 223 Wild upper, the Don't Tread on Us upper, we don't really have problems. It's very compatible, in my opinion, according to our studies and the shooting that we do. So I was very impressed. So you get the lower, you got the upper, and by the way, the upper is complete. We don't just give you forget about the rear sight. No, we give you front and rear sight. And the rear sight is an A2 handle that you can remove. It's a flat top, so you can always put, if you want, scopes, whatever you want. I don't suggest it, honestly, but it's up to you. Red dots. Then you got also a magazine, USGI magazine. And what else? There you go to the rest of the story. If you go to freedomrifle.com, you can see that also you can download the ebook, How to Become a Rifleman. This is always a project in continuous expansion. Okay, and then you can also download the CD, Don't Tread on Us. Then you get with your package the T-shirt. Slaves are never armed. I'm not a slave. It means you are armed, as every law-abiding American should be, in my opinion. Man or woman or between, I don't care. You got this beautiful T-shirt with the AR-15, Don't Tread on Us, Freedom Rifle. And then, of course, you get also another important thing in this package, the copy of the United States Constitution in parchment. Beautiful. I mean, all this for $499. Then what we do also, if you are in Mojave County, between Havasu, for example, and Kingman, there are two ranges that normally I go to shoot. I invite all my customers to come with me to shoot the rifle together, to zero the rifle, to ask questions, to be sure that this rifle performs the way it should be. Think about that. Nobody else in the industry gives you this service after you buy the rifle. That's a fact. All this for $499, made in the USA. So really I'm happy and proud that from an idea, of course, was able to bring this concept, thanks to the help of Plum Crazy Generation 2, that really provides an incredible product, in my opinion, with this lower. And of course, my desire to bring together a package. And if you want to know how you can buy it, there are different ways. In this way, also, you support the show. Don't forget, you don't buy just a rifle. You support Love, Guns, and Freedom, and you keep it free. I don't need to go around beg for sponsors, because we are the sponsors. On this show, you can talk. Everybody's welcome. I don't care which party. I don't care if you agree with me or not. We have complete freedom of speech. That's the bottom line. And we can do that because we do not need to please anybody. We do not kiss the butts. We don't lick the butts of the Republicans or Democrats or Libertarians. We don't lick anybody's butts. We are free. And we are free also to disagree, and we do whatever we want. That's the bottom line. So that's why I enjoy being here, and that's why I appreciate your support. Go to freedomrifle.com. You can find all the different dealers For example, in Havasu we have Havasu Guns. He's doing a great job. And there is also another great dealer, Elk Ridge Firearms. Check it out. There is the website and also a phone number. Then, of course, in Kingman we got Shots. And then, of course, you can also, if you're out of state, I know many of you listeners now on the internet, you're listening to me out of state. All you gotta do is go to freedomrifle.com, follow the instruction how to purchase it. We ship directly to your local FFL dealer. It'd be like, always if you are in a state that you can buy an AR-15. So please, guys from California, please, don't even waste your phone call, okay? All I can send you is a t-shirt. Seriously. I cannot even talk with you about selling this rifle, okay? I'm sorry. You should talk with your legislators first, maybe start the revolution, hopefully peacefully, and take your rights back, and then I would love to deliver to you the rifle. Anyway, now, this is pretty much was my introduction. So I'm back from Phoenix. I'm on the 93 here, across right now Wickenburg. I already feel better. I feel excited. I'm happy. I'm happy to be here in the middle of nowhere, Arizona. I love it. And today is a different type of show. As I said, I was almost tempted to don't do it. Because after all, I can just put a replay. But you know what? I really have more and more people that they contact me. And I feel bad if I miss a bit, if I miss a Sunday. Because I think it's always an opportunity to communicate with you. And I don't want to let you go. I don't want to let you down. And I really, even if I don't know you, even probably I never meet you, but I know you listen to my voice. Call me nostalgic, call me romantic, but I feel a connection with you guys. I know the numbers. I see you online especially. You guys are always more and more. And I'm very proud. Thank you. Humble at the same time. I probably don't deserve it. I mean, somebody is listening to me rambling and my ideas. Who am I? Seriously. I'm just a regular guy, and I feel humble that you're even listening to me. So anyway, I didn't want to let you go. I didn't want to let you down. And I'm here. I said today probably is going to be a different type of broadcast. It's dark. It's pitch dark night. But we have a little bit of a moon out there. I just stopped in Wickenburg. I'm driving my Zanna truck. And it's funny thing, I stopped at this gas station and I was getting a drink, something to drink. And I found these little lollipops. I said, wow, weird lollipops, $4. What is inside these lollipops? Guess what? Scorpions. Lollipops with scorpion. That was amazing. I'm going to put this photo out on Facebook and on my website, lovegunsfreedom.com. Check it out. Just something to change the topic for a moment. This is so beautiful. Where you can find a place that you can buy lollipops with scorpions. I mean, don't you mean? Is there something? Anyway. Now, talking about a little more serious things. I really pretty much didn't follow the news the last couple of days. And normally I prepare my shows, normally I have a guest on my show. Today is going to be a different type of show. It's going to be me on the road talking about probably things that you already know, topics that could be specific but also generic. I mean, we can talk about Trump a little bit because it's important to say, okay, now for a moment, I think, because I believe till we don't have the election finalized and officialized in January, I still don't trust Hillary. She's like a snake. So the snake is still alive. But let's say President-elect Trump is in, okay? There are some things I like, some things I don't like, and we need to be open and honest to talk about everything, especially about the things we do not like. We cannot just say, oh, now Trump is the savior. Everything he does is perfect. No, far from that. Seriously. Yes, compared to Hillary, probably Trump is a Boy Scout. But at the same point, no, we must always be open to, let's say, I don't want to say expose, but let's say never go back to sleep and follow everything this man is doing. Because he's going to have a lot of responsibility now. The American people give him a lot of trust. And he's better start to fulfill the promises. Of course, he's still not in office, so let's give him a break. Let's give him this first 100 days. But there are some things already saying that, in my opinion, a little disturbing. For example, Trump said the last few days that if somebody burns the American flags, he should be probably arrested and even removed from the country. Wait a second. Let me tell you what I think about this burning the American flag. First of all, let me tell you something where I'm coming from. I have the American flag tattooed on my right shoulder. I did that the day I became an American, a naturalized American. Okay, 2005. That was my flag. I was almost ready to put it in front, my chest, in my heart. But I say, no, let me put it on my right shoulder. So that's how much I respect the American flag. So much that I'm ready to die. Okay, and I don't want to die, okay? I love life. But the point is, the flag for me, it is more than just a flag. It's the sacrifice of men and women way before us, even before our people in this generation, since our founding fathers fought and died to give us this republic. So I'm completely dedicated, and I'm ready to give everything I have for our country. At the same time, I have a problem when somebody, though, wants to somehow force patriotism in somebody else with the punishment or the fear of the punishment to, for example, like serious consequences, like going to jail or being, let's say, remove the citizenship. Okay? Our founding fathers, my humble opinion, they wanted to be sure that freedom of speech is something that belongs to the American people, something that in no other country anybody else has. Okay? For example, if you go to Italy, you say something bad about the Italian president, you offend them, you spend 5 years, you can spend 5 years in jail. Okay? Here, we don't have that because we have freedom of speech. I can say Obama is whatever I think he is. And you know how many things I said about Obama. I wrote probably a book about it. Just go to YouTube and watch my video, F.U. Obama, okay? For 8 minutes rant or whatever. So that's my point. So if people can say things about the president. If people are the freedom to burn a Quran or burn a Bible or whatever they want, the point is the only thing we shouldn't do is infringe on other people's rights. We should not, of course, harm other people. I am not for supporting anybody who wants to burn the flag. I told you what I think. At the same time, if somebody wants to use that form of expression to, let's say, express their First Amendment, whatever it is, I don't need to agree. I would defend it with my life. I would defend them with my life. I know probably many of you may disagree, but I don't care because I'm not here to gain new friends. I'm here to tell you what I think. And the point why I'm telling you this, people say, "Oh my God, look at you support somebody burning the flag." No, I do not support it. I support the fact that they have freedom of speech. I don't like at all the idea that somebody is burning the American flag. I despise it, honestly. At the same time, if you want to really believe in freedom, you should accept it all. Because tomorrow, let's say government can say, you cannot burn the American flag. Okay. Then tomorrow they can tell you, by the way, you cannot read these books. Or you can offend the American president. You see, you open that gate, the gates of hell, and then you lose it. You lose it all. I want to live in a country that my condition is this. If you want to burn whatever you want to burn, better be your own property, number one. You're not going to take my flag out of my hands. You will pay the consequences, number one. Number two, if you burn the flag, you better be in a place that it is not endangering anybody else. That's the bottom line. And that's, in my opinion, what freedom should be. Freedom also to be an idiot. Okay? That's the point. And also remember, patriotism, in my opinion, you do not enforce it with coercion. But it's like love. How can I force a woman to love me? You don't do that. Love is something spontaneous. Something should be natural. Not somebody, oh, you must love me. You must respect me. No, but maybe I don't want to love you. Maybe I don't like you. Okay? This is just an example. You have that freedom. That's my opinion. So anyway, that's why Trump is really kind of scaring the hell out of me when he's saying these things. And I hate all these idiots on the other side, the zombies, they think everything Trump is doing is wrong. Because at the same time, I think he wants to do some right stuff. Okay? I mean, the point is, we will see. Now, another thing I read, and I don't know if it's true, Trump said that he wants to outlaw, or at least block, or censor all these TV series or movies where gays are, let's say, into these shows. I did not verify this information, so I don't want to say too much. But if this is true, it's completely wrong. I mean, government should never have the power to interfere with the private business. We, the watchers, or the customers, or the listeners in this case, if we do not like a type of show, let's say I don't like a TV show that there is all about, let's say, I don't know, homosexuality. Maybe I don't like it. Okay, this is not about me liking it or not. Let's say I don't agree. I don't need the government to, let's say, coerce this company to do according to whatever morals they have. It's called me. I do not watch that show. As simple as that. And if there are not enough listeners or watchers or viewers, of the TV show, the market will censor the show, or at least will not make it happen. So Trump, if he really says these things, that he will try to censor some of these shows where gays or whatever, lesbians, that's so wrong, guys. That's so wrong. And I don't care if you believe that gays are right or not. It is, honestly, for me, I told you, gays, they have the right to be gays. The only thing I ask them, please do it in your space, like I don't kiss my woman or whatever I have with me in front of your face. That's the bottom line. So please, that's the story. Let's respect each other. You can have whatever sexuality you want. It's your business, but just do it always with the respect of others. Same story with the television, TV shows. There are TV shows that they are, regular couples, they kiss each other. If a gay or a lesbian want to do the same, guess what? If I don't like it, I do not watch the show. As simple as that. I do not need Daddy Trump to force a TV show or a private corporation to, let's say, produce a show according to his morals. But that's called fascism. That's what Mussolini used to do. Mussolini, remember, they used to pretty much own the broadcasting, and even this government may not own the private corporations, but if they can influence the content of the shows, is the same. That's called fascism. Okay, so please, guys, especially guys that I know you support Trump's, let's not forget Trump is just a man. Okay, so it is not infallible, and more important, we should put a constitution, our Bill of Rights, above every man, above every party. That's for me what it means to be an American. It's not about party. It is not about following your leader. No, it's a following about the principles expressed, enunciated, our rights, enumerated in our Bill of Rights. And the Declaration of Independence, don't forget that. So Trump is just an executive, supposed to be working for us and always constrained by the Constitution. Anyway, that's pretty much the story for now. Now, let me tell you something else. On the 93 here, it's kind of dark. I expect to see a UFO pretty soon. It will be almost an experience. Meanwhile, I don't see a UFO, but I tell you, I saw already a couple of coyotes crossing the highway. I need to drive a little slower because the last thing I want is a smash into a coyote. Okay? A little bit of other information, but first we're going to put a little bit of music, and then we're going to go back. Guess what? Today I want to play something different. Let's see how the sound picks on this. I have my new CD player stereo here, and I really love, by the way, here we go, the radio going through. I got a new CD by In Excess, one of my favorite bands from the 90s. Wow. Here we go. you're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom with luca-zanna on the road, broadcasting from my truck. Is that cool?
Makes me sweat. I'm lonely. Can't take it all. Gonna live my life so sad over here and give me a moment. I'm so raw. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. Cause I'm not sleeping. There's something about you, girl. It makes me sweat. I'm lonely. What do you think? Can't take it all. What you gonna do? Gonna live my life. I'm lonely.
There we go. Normally, you know, guys, I always play my songs, but I felt tonight to change. I'm kind of a nostalgic. I grew up with this type of music, and it's funny, you know, I go from hard rock like AC/DC to In Excess and kind of a strange mix, and classical music. Oh, Garbage. I love Garbage, by the way, the band. All right, anyways, what I was saying, you know, this is our struggle right now for our rights. It just started it. We should never go fall asleep because we think, oh, we got Trump, oh, we got the Republicans in Congress and in Senate. You know that these bastards, these Republicans, at least many of them, they are the cause with Obama. They let all this happen. So don't think just because we have all Republicans everywhere we are safe. They've been working with Obama. They sold us out all these years. We did not have, we have $20 trillion in debt, not just because Obama wanted it, but because also Congress allowed it. So don't trust any of these bastards. Now more than ever, we have a chance to somehow, hopefully, take it back or stop it. But we need to be there pressuring. We need to be there and watching over them more than ever. We never should follow any allegiance to any party or party leader. Honestly, for me, parties, they're just the biggest illusion and confusion to keep us separate. So, especially that piece of trash of the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. What do you think? You trust him now just because he's kissing, Trump? Come on, guys, wake up, especially if you're Republican. But we got to really understand that we are also completely. Even tomorrow when Trump is going to get in, we're still going to have all these different agencies with over-regulation. So it's going to take time to even try to completely stop all this. As I said, we have a chance. But we got to also put a lot of pressure in Trump. Let's also look at Trump's new people that he's selecting for executive positions. I am kind of disappointed. I don't know about you. When even he's talking to somebody like Romney. Romney, he should go and hide himself. Not only because, of course, he backstabbed Trump so many times. We know that he was spitting on Trump just before the election. But also for really what Romney is. He's not just a loser, but also is a complete worst part of the Republican Party. Everything you think you may hate in the Republican Party, I tell you, for me, is Romney. Okay? So much that I didn't vote I didn't vote for Romney when Romney was against Obama, because I think he's probably as bad as Obama, just a little different haircut. Okay, terrible. So the fact that somehow Trump is entertaining the idea to have Romney in his executive, that's scary. And then also these other many people. I mean, General Petraeus, CFR member, Council of Foreign Relations member, an anti-gun person, one of these elite, the most, if you are part of the Council of Foreign Relations, you are no friend of America. That's a fact. And I'm not saying that. Just read the book of Barry Goldwater with no apology. And he explains, the former late senator from Arizona, he explains very well what is this Council of Foreign Relations. Please check it out. So that's my point. I'm very afraid that Trump is going to now surround himself of the same type of globalist that Obama had, that Bush had, that Reagan had. Don't forget Reagan. He had in his cabinet one of the highest number of members of Council of Foreign Relations. As much as that man meant well in many areas, he was surrounded by globalists, New World Orders people. That's my point. So wake up. Don't think because Trump is in, we are okay. No, the fight has just started it. Okay. Now there are some good things I believe Trump can do, and he should really follow up on his promises. When it comes down to the Second Amendment, I mean, this bill, for example, to create a concealed carry permit that crosses the state lines like a driver license, that's something should be pretty much black and white. Shouldn't be a problem. We have a driver license from Arizona. I can go with this driver license and drive across the states to New York, California, no matter what. The same story with my concealed carry permit. Now, this is the first step. I must tell you something. In my opinion, a permit, it is not a right. If you really have the Second Amendment right, I should have no freaking permit from the government, because after all, otherwise, it's just a permit is a right that the government gives us back for a price. So they're selling us back our rights. But it's the first step. Don't get me wrong. So that's my opinion, and of course, I really believe in that. At the same time, I wanted just to remind you, I started also a new business, as promised, that if Trump was going to become president, more importantly, if Hillary didn't win, that's more like it, I was going to start a new business. It's called Zanna Enterprises, LLC. And this new business, not only I'm becoming a gun manufacturer with a federal license. I hate this word license, but that's the way it is. Also, I'm starting this new training, handgun training, and also concealed weapon classes. And I like that because I like to share. I like to share what I know, and I like to do it now in a more professional way. I've been doing this voluntarily, not even charging people with every time I go to the range. Now, guess what? The last few months, I wanted to go to the next step, and humbly, I started to study again, and I achieved my different certificate of certification, of course. Okay, certificate. That's great English. Great. Anyway, as instructor with the NRA. I did also RSO, Range Safety Officer. I did instructor for pistol. Now I'm doing instructor for inside the house, outside the house, self-defense. So I want to start to teach with my new LLC between Mojave County and around Arizona. Everywhere there is people want to learn, I'm willing to go. I love to share this information to get more law-abiding people trained. You can have all the guns you want. If you don't have training, it's still a piece of metal. Almost dangerous, honestly. So that's my goal. And if you're interested, of course, you can always shoot me an email. Especially now we're going to start CCW, concealed weapon classes, in January between Kingman and Havasu City. I love to see you there at the classes. And just to let you know, I offer free classes for single mothers So if you're a single mom, free class, it's on me. And for disabled people, okay? Say you have some disability, like you're on the wheelchair. Guess what? I'll pay for the class. This is more than just selling stuff. It is really for helping people and creating a better society when you have individuals, law-abiding people, armed, who knows the laws, have responsibility, and also training. We would be much safer society. And also I always feel for the people that they cannot maybe achieve that, and they need some help. And that's why I say I believe in charity. I believe in helping people out of my good heart. I do not believe in government extortion, forcing you to redistribute your wealth. No, I like to share out of my own will, when I want, when I can. Okay, that's the line. All right, now, bottom line, I'm here on the 93, still on the road, and maybe I play another song. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is good. Original Sin, I love it. You're listening to Love Guns and Freedom with luca-zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM, broadcasting from the roads of Arizona.
You might know how to be a fire, but take no, I'll be living in the name of love. Yeah, you thought what a pity. Dream of white boy, dream of black girl, wake up to a brand new day. To find your dreams washed away. There was a time when I did not care. There was a time when the past is there. There is a dream, and it's evolving. But I'm sure you had to see its open arms. Oh, white boy, dream of that girl, then wake up to a brand new day. Find the dreams are washed away.
It's a beautiful night with a sky filled with stars. Love it. Driving on the 93 highway, going north, going back to Mojave County, Arizona.
Know of the original sin. You might know how to be with fire, but did you know I'll never commit to it? In the name of love, yeah, you thought what a pity. Dream of white boy, dream of black girl, and wake up to a brand new day. Dream of black boy, dream of white girl, and wake up to.
Okay, that was In Excess, Original Sin, one of my favorite songs when I was growing up as a young man in Italy. Sometimes I even didn't understand what they were saying, but I love it. Man, many memories on the beaches, playing this music, while windsurfing, and having a great life. I really want to tell you, I'm blessed. Even when I had the toughest time of my life, I'm blessed because I push it. I push to the envelope. I think I've been living my life to the fullest I could. Sometimes even, daring things that probably could have been dangerous. But you know what? I didn't get bored. That's for sure. And you know what? At the end of the day, we're all gonna die. And I tell you, the fact that I can say I have no regrets, foremost, let's say I have very little regrets because I've done everything I wanted to do. I said everything I wanted to say. Even when I meet a woman, I'm not gonna mess around. I'm gonna tell you what I think. Because I think that why should I be shy? I'm gonna be gone one day. I'm polite. I am not disrespectful. At the same time, I'm honest, straight to the heart. That's why. And that's the way I've been all my life. Normally, I'm a pretty shy guy. Let me tell you, I grew up, I'm a Cancer after all. I'm very reserved, kind of shy. And but one day I said to myself, why am I shy? Why? And I don't. From the day I became from super shy to super straight. Sometimes I remember when I was, a few years ago, and I met somebody saying, I just met you. Said, by the way, I think you're great. You look wonderful. And I may also, I don't know, I have feelings for you. Say, you crazy? Yeah, I'm not. I'm just telling you what I think. That's my way. That's the way I am. And it's like almost being no barriers anymore, no phony walls, no, behavior dictated by society. Just be honest, like a child. That's the way I like it. Anyway, this is about freedom now, but that's part of the freedom too. And that's why I want to share this with you. So anyway, I want to say I'm thankful. Thankful for everything. And more important now in this part of my life, I'm thankful to be here in Arizona. I tell you, I had a chance in my life to go through almost every place I wanted to go through. Of course, I was born in Rome, Italy. I grew up in Anzio. I grew up also in Rome and around Italy. And I did, my early, when I was young in my 20s, I went almost everywhere around the world I wanted to visit. Then I realized that no place like America. There is no place like America. And now more than ever, there is no place like Arizona, because this is for me the real America, or at least the states like Arizona, what is supposed to be for me America. Not California, not New York, not Massachusetts, or things like that. That's more and more is like Italy or Europe in general. So I'm happy and proud and humble and thankful, more important, to be here. And it's magic. Like even tonight, driving on this beautiful 93 with almost nobody, with this beautiful sky filled with stars, the moon smiling at me, the coyotes once in a while jumping crossing the highway, and looking forward to go home, open my fridge, open my organic beer, and upload the show to you, my listeners, wherever you are in the world. I know that I have friends, and I call you friends even if I don't know you, that they are right now, for example, in England, Scotland, Germany, Italy, many parts of many states, Sweden, California, New York. I'm humble, I really am. And my goal is just, let me tell you, to not only share the message, but also hopefully inspire you that you can share the message too in your own community. Because I'm just a regular guy, and think about it, I'm not even that good. I never wanted to be a radio guy. Listen to my English. Probably I know many Swedish people that can speak better English than I do. Okay? And I want to help you to set up your show. That's why I also want to say right now, I'm launching a new web radio. It's called Sweden.fm, like the radio. www.sweden.fm. So if you're from Sweden or Norway, or any country from the Scandinavian peninsula, and you want to broadcast and write blogs about freedom, about sovereignty, about, exposing the New World Order and news from your area, I want to invite you. I would like to give you the opportunity on my channel, this website, where you can write blogs, and you can also, I will help you out to set up your radio show on the internet. So just contact me. Go to www.sweden.fm luca-zanna.us, and you can shoot me an email from there. Now, we're almost wrapping up for this hour. I wanted just to let you know that, of course, you can support the show not just with the Freedom Rifle, but also with coffee, the Zanna coffee. That, by the way, right now I really would like to have at least a gallon, since I'm driving in the middle of the night, and I didn't have Zanna coffee in at least 3 days. Anyway, you can have it. You can go to www.zannacoffee.com, the best organic coffee, okay, that you can purchase for a great price. We have a special 3 bags with the 3 different blends: the straight shot espresso, incredible strong dark coffee, organic coffee, and then you have 1776 coffee to brew a revolution, and then you have Route 66 coffee. You can get 3 packages for $30 plus shipping. Think about that. And it's organic. It's all my coffee. It's all bean. So you don't just get a ground crap that you can buy at the shops. This is ground. These are all beans, so you can see the quality. You can smell it. You can also preserve better the freshness. Okay? It's organic and GMO free. So anyway, go to zannacoffee.com. I appreciate it. And don't forget, if you want to read some of my thoughts and poems and lyrics of my songs, I have a new ebook. It's called Lyrics and Poems by Gianluca Zanna that you can download for $2.99, not even $3, at Amazon.com, or go to zanna.us and you can find it, okay? You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. Let me take a break here because we are really getting to a dark area, and I really need to focus a little bit on the road. This is Love, Guns, and Freedom on the road of Arizona, driving. Ciao.
Hey, you. Yes, I'm talking to you. You deserve a break. Enjoy a moment of indulgence. It's time for Zanna Coffee. Guilt-free pleasure. Zanna Coffee is the organic coffee to amplify your senses and enhance love for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Only the best organic and GMO-free coffee beans from around the world that I selected. Zanna Coffee brings you happiness in every cup. Fair trade certified, sustainable organic coffee. That means we do not use slaves. Free Zanna songs with every coffee bag. Find Zanna Coffee at www.zannacoffee.com. www.zannacoffee.com. Get your coffee bag now. Don't be cheap. Life is too short and you deserve the best. Zanna Coffee.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Gianluca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Gianluca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Here we go. I'm back here in my studio in my middle of nowhere, Arizona. Oh my God, how much I love it. Oh my God, how much I love this place. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. I don't want to sound like a crying baby. Oh my God. I know many of you guys have to live in the cities for works, for jobs, for business, whatever. But I'm not even saying that. I mean, I'm not judging anybody. You do what you think is right, what you can do. But for me, I'd rather be eating onions and beans and growing what I can eat if I could avoid to go down to a town, a big city like Phoenix. Seriously. If I had to pick between, I give you a mansion in the middle of a huge city like Phoenix. Probably it's not even the hugest. I know there are places like in Texas, probably huger, I mean, New York, oh my God, Los Angeles, oh, I ready to live in the middle of nowhere, in a tent, in a shack. Seriously. Thank God I don't have to do that because I got everything I want and more. But seriously. Anyway, I am back. I made it home great. I had a great travel. I really enjoy traveling at night, by the way. It's beautiful, especially here, the nature. You know, you can look at the stars. Of course, I should look, on the street, look at the street, or the road. But at the same time, you can look at the stars, the moon. Then I stop in this place in Wickenburg, kind of interesting gas station. I go there inside to get something to drink, and I find these lollipops. This little, that I don't eat, by the way, this crap. I don't eat sugar and everything like that, but... and there is a scorpion inside the lollipop. It's a scorpion lollipop. I had to get one just to send it to my mom in Italy. Anyway, regardless, I'm very grateful and thankful. I want to thank everybody out there who came to visit me at the Phoenix gun show. People that are listening, my friends, my new friends, vendors. Appreciate your friendship, your company, and more important, of course, my customers. I really do. And I like your feedback about the rifle, the Freedom rifle. I was excited to see that. Wow. It's a great interest and, of course, also great desire to buy it. That's very important. And I also want to remind you my new CCW classes, concealed weapon classes for Arizona gun permits. Let me tell you this. We're going to start in January. We already have a location. It's going to be at the Havasu Gun Shop. And I'm very excited because it's going to be a new chapter also in my life. These things that I do because I like them, not because I have to. I enjoy shooting guns. I enjoy sharing what I know. And also, working very hard to do as professional as possible. I got my certification with NRA as a pistol instructor. Now I'm getting in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, I also getting my certification as an instructor for self-defense inside the house and outside the house. And of course, I will give you also my input. So, gonna be exciting. If you want to be on one of these classes, I would like to also let you know that if you are a single mom, or if you are, let's say, a person with some personal handicaps, like on the wheelchair, guess what? You got free class. It's on me. And the other people, they will have a very good price for incredible product that is going to be more than just CCW classes. We're going to be the best CCW classes in Arizona. Okay, let me go ready for hour number 2. And you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. Do not go away. Ciao.
You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna on United States. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna on United States.fm network.
Okay, we are here at Arizona State Fairground. Kind of exciting. This is my first fair, and I'm talking about gun show. This is the gun show. I think it's the mother of the all gun shows in Arizona. It's huge. I'm here with my little humble table because I wanted just to come here and see what's going on, and of course present also my Don't Trade on Us, the Freedom Rifle, to the public. Very exciting. Yesterday was the first day. We had a lot of great feedback, and without getting into details, it was a decent day also with the sales. Honestly, I'm very grateful. I'm not going to be here for it. Of course, that was Friday. Today is Saturday. We have a different type of crowd. I see that Friday normally is more retired people. Today I see probably people that they're off work. So it's exciting, just early in the morning. We're talking about right now 9:30. And a lot of different booths, of course. We have a lot of different things. And I tell you, it's not just about guns. It's about the whole culture that comes with guns. It's really amazing. You have from great booths with safe storage areas, targets. And we have, of course, knives. We have accessories and ammunition, great selection of ammunition. There's a lot of great stuff. So I'm very excited. And now, of course, I have people at the table while we're talking. But I'm telling you, it is a great opportunity to meet like-minded people and also to network. People coming to this show, they are not just from Phoenix. We have people from different parts of the state. Kind of excited. And one thing really still makes me smile, and I'm very happy, that all you have to do here to buy a gun is to be, of course, an Arizona resident, show your ID, your Arizona ID, and that's it. Let's see, somebody's calling. Let's take a break, and we will go back.
Do you want social justice? Now I give you social justice. The Zanna way. Don't trade on us. The Freedom Rifle by Zanna. The most affordable military-grade semi-automatic AR-15 rifle in M4 configuration, chambered in 223 Wild, that can shoot both 5.56 NATO and 223 Remington. 4 minutes of angle for just $499, made in the USA. Get your Freedom Rifle now. We need every law-abiding American armed with knowledge and at least one military rifle, ready to defend good against evil. With every Don't Trade on Us rifle, you will get free parchment replica of the United States Constitution, free digital CD, Don't Trade on Us, free ebook, How to Become a Rifleman, free t-shirt, Slaves Are Never Armed, I Am Not a Slave, free 30-round magazine where allowed by the law, free laser engraved ejection port, Don't Trade on Us, for just $499. Go to www.freedomrifle.com, www.freedomrifle.com. Get your Freedom Rifle now.
Here we go. We are back here in Phoenix, Arizona, broadcasting from the Phoenix Fairground. And I am exactly, as I said before, at the biggest gun show in the state. This is probably the mother of the all gun shows here in Arizona, the Phoenix Gun Show. Okay, it's kind of an amazing environment because you see people from different parts of the state, not just from Phoenix. And telling you, it's a free market. Okay, you can still buy a rifle here or a gun, a firearm in general, without any type of paperwork. That's amazing. That's the spirit, what we're supposed to be, free. And all you have to do is show, of course, an Arizona ID. Simple as that. And people can say, this is a long debate, oh, you need to have a background check. You know what? Criminals do not do background checks. Criminals, they get their guns on the black market, period. That's the story. So that's the point. I shouldn't give the government the opportunity to legislate or to regulate my right to buy a firearm. Point is, I should be able to buy a firearm every time I want, and I can do it discreetly. Okay? Of course, we are here in the state. We are not buying cross state lines. We are buying in our state. I think that's something very important. Now, I got people right now on the table, and I need to figure it out. Probably they need some help. Anyway, I just got a phone call before from this gentleman who called. Yes, he bought from me the grenades, small grenades that I'm selling, the EG-18X. I'm very excited because he was so excited. He bought 20 of those, and today he shot some, and I told him, please, let me know how you like him. And he was excited. He's doing it with a party with his sons, and the sons, they were really happy. They're in a kind of airsoft game, and the grenades, they really like him. So I will put the video probably pretty soon. Meanwhile, if you want to look for the smoke grenades that I'm a dealer, they are EG-18X. You can go to the website, freesmokegrenades.com. And by the way, you buy 10, you get one free. But if you got more than 10, you get also wholesale price. So just contact me directly through my email, and I'll help you out. It's a great gift for Christmas or any occasion, and also for practical purposes. They're really good purposes. All right, so you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. Do not go away, because now I got to go back a little bit to work here. But I'll talk to you soon with some more interesting news directly from Phoenix, from the biggest gun show in the state.
In this world where everything seems to be going sideways, when you need things set straight, Zanna Coffee Straight Shot Espresso. Start your day with a bang. The best organic and GMO-free coffee beans from around the world, to amplify your senses and enhance love for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Zanna Coffee brings you happiness in every cup. Fair trade, certified, sustainable, organic coffee. That means we do not use slaves. Free Zanna songs with every coffee bag. Find Zanna Coffee at www.zannacoffee.com www.zannacoffee.com. Don't be cheap, you deserve the best. Get Zanna Coffee at www.zannacoffee.com.
Here we go, guys and girls. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and on United States.FM network. Maybe, as you can hear from my voice, the tone of my voice, I sound kind of tired. Well, I'm not tired. I'm exhausted. More than exhausted, I'm super stressed out. Let me tell you where I am. I am exactly in Phoenix, Arizona, a part of the city not that far from the state fairground, excuse me. And yes, I'm having a great time at the gun show. There's a gun show here, and I'll tell you more about the gun show also. But first, I want to tell you, this city, I forgot how bad it is. And not just Phoenix, in general, big cities in America and around the world. It is not just America. They're probably one of the most dangerous places where normally a human being can live. And it's not just living, it's also just going through sometimes, like you are traveling. I'm telling you, it is really a challenge and stressful. For me especially, used to live in the beautiful middle of nowhere Arizona, rural Arizona, like Mojave County, out there in the county, where I never have rush hour. I don't even have a red light. I live on the dirt road, and I love it. Oh my God, if I love it. I miss everything. Thank God tomorrow this is over. But let me tell you, this environment, I really believe the crime rate is one of the people may get used to in this town, but it is bad. It is really bad. And this, at least in Phoenix, if you're a law-abiding person, you have the right to keep and bear arms, and it's a huge deterrent. I'm thinking about other big cities like, for example, Chicago, Los Angeles, where only the criminals can carry guns, and cops, of course. How much terrible can be for a law-abiding person to go through every day, the average phases of the day, even just going to work. I mean, today I was on the truck, I got lost. Oh my God, I get lost here so many times, you have no idea. Even with the GPS, I think I'm probably the most laughable case in the world. I can get lost with the GPS in Phoenix. Can you believe that? To go to a place, I was trying to look for a place where normally I go to eat, because I don't go eat out. As you know, I'm kind of a very picky person. But the only place I go eat out, it's supposed to be 5 minutes away from the county state fairground. It took me 1 hour and 28 minutes to find it. Because I got lost. I started to go completely wrong direction. Then think about that in the rush hour. Even just to go back and do U-turn takes you 20, 30 minutes, okay? So completely terrible, okay? But that's my fault, because I know that I shouldn't be here. Regardless, I had a great day at the gun show. And the point I'm trying to make now is, you are, as a, let's say, traveler, maybe like myself, at the hotel room. You understand that this is not exactly the safest place in the world. What do you do to start to have a night sleep without stressing out that somebody may break into your hotel room? Well, there are different things. First of all, you want to be always sure that somebody's not following you, because unfortunately they may follow you. They may think that you are from out of town, and they may know maybe that you're doing business. And when you do business, normally you may carry cash. So to be aware of your surroundings, to be aware that somebody's following you, That's probably the most important thing, in my opinion. Now, once you are in, that's very important. You want, of course, keep your car or your truck that you can see, hopefully from the window, without being, spotted, or more important, without the need to go out and check. Now, you need to secure the door or the windows. In this case, let's start with the door, for example. Yes, there is this sort of a lock and everything, the bolt. For me, that's not enough. Sorry. So what I do normally when I travel around, I bring with me a couple of tools. One tool I have is something very simple. Is a door jammer. You can buy these. Normally, you can put them at the bottom of the door, and they have also a high-pitched sound in case somebody's trying to push the door. They can buy it for $10. They're really worth it, in my opinion, because you can jam every door. Somebody's trying to open it. It's going to make a big siren sound. It's going to wake you up, because that's the problem. You never know when you sleep. Somebody try to break in. I don't care how fast, how strong, how incredible shooter you are. You're sleeping. So that's it. Nothing you can do. So that's number one thing I like to do. The most affordable thing. Second thing, of course, if you don't have that, you should move at least a chair behind, or even the table. I like to move the whole table sometimes if I don't have it. I don't care. I get the hotel table, I put it all completely behind. Now, windows. Many hotels, they have these windows that they are completely, covered by this sort of a tent, but technically I don't like open glass like that. I understand probably there would be something way too extreme. Somebody may even just try to break the window while you're sleeping, or try to open it. But, I always say all we need is an idiot out there on drugs that doesn't care about how stupid can sound. So normally what I do there, I like to put under the window, okay, for example, objects that if somebody in the darkness try to get in and jump through the window, they will make a big noise. Okay, so whatever you have, there could be even glass bottles and things that could be maybe make it also fallen, and the person may trip on it. Okay, that's something probably not the most important thing. Normally people, they may try to get in through the door, but I believe that's very important too. Now, of course, you must always have your gun or guns ready to go. I like to have two normally when I'm in my hotel room. I like to have a gun, but don't forget, that if you have an hotel room, don't forget that there are people behind those walls. So always try to figure it out. That's why I like normally to have a hotel room that I am on the corner, and I don't have on both sides other rooms, just on one side. Because, God forbid you ever had to use that gun. Over penetration in these very, completely funny walls, it's going to be a problem, especially if you miss. Or even if you don't miss, you may be over penetrating no matter what. So that's something to consider. So you always have to position yourself in a way that, in case you have to shoot, you have a clear field and a backstop, or at least you have an open space behind the potential attacker. Now, very important, I always bring with me also my amplified headset for ear muffling. I like to have always access quickly. Immediately, it takes me half second to put my protective headset with amplification, so I can hear what's going on in case I'm completely dark. And very important also, understand that you want to have a place in case you need to hide behind. Normally, for example, in the hotel room, there is a wall. You got the bed attached to the wall, of course, and there is one corner, or at least one side of this bed, you have completely your back on the wall. I like that. I know that nobody can come from that side, and at the same time, I can cover myself behind the bed. So if I have to be in defensive position, and that's normally where I put my second gun. So I got my first gun on the bed, in the holster always, because remember, at night you may sleep, and I like to put one that I have easy access, but I always have the holster in case at night, in the middle of the moment, you don't realize what you're doing. You don't want to put a finger on the trigger by accident. So, and the second gun I have it on the other side of the bed, in this sort of a safe zone with the wall behind. So that's pretty much the story. Now, I'm telling you, I can't believe how much sound, noises, I don't want to call them sound, noises you have in this town. During the night, oh my gosh, being used to live in Mojave County, in the middle of nowhere, that I love, by the way, with the sound of silence and the high desert and the beautiful coyotes and wild animals and the stars and the moon. Oh my God, so beautiful. Yeah, it feels like you're in a jungle, but it's a jungle of cement, a cement jungle. It's terrible. So I don't know, maybe I'm not used anymore, but I tell you, even when I was a younger guy, I was used to live in Italy, in Rome. I hated Rome. I couldn't really function as a human being. I don't think that human beings were born to live in an environment like a city, especially a city claustrophobic, full of smog, and a city where you have people completely stressed out just because of the trap. It's like this sort of a rat race every day you have to do. Then, of course, crime is always behind the corner. It's also a number games, you know that. If there is an asshole out there, one out of 100, imagine what you can do, 1 out of millions. To me, the statistic is always 1 out of 100 people that is a criminal out there, okay? So imagine if, when we have millions of people living in a very close environment, you have a lot of concentrated evil people, unfortunately. Anyway, so this was pretty much the idea of keeping your eyes open and try to always avoid that confrontation, avoid the fight. The best gunfight is the one that you can avoid. That's the truth. Even Sun Tzu, in his book, The Art of War, he said the best general is the one that can win the war pretty much without fighting the battle. Think about it. That's the best victory. So try always to be ahead of the game. Try to be sharp. And try to avoid to put yourself in a situation that you could find problems. And then at the same time, when you are in a situation like, for example, in this hotel room, do not underestimate what could be situations. Because, people may say, oh, that's you're paranoid. It's not going to happen to you. You know what? All you need is once. All you need is one time that happens. And unfortunately it happens. You heard stories. People being robbed at the hotels, people being robbed in the parking lot, people being robbed in their homes. So it happens. Evil is out there. Now, because it did not happen to you does not mean that it does not happen or it does not exist. So that's the point. Especially if you are traveling, in an environment that you do not know, try to always get some extra, let's say, precautions. I mean, it doesn't really cost you anything to put some sort of a jammer behind the door, your hotel room door. It doesn't cost you anything to have a little bit of a plan in case, even if you have a close, very small environment like your hotel room, at least to know if you hear a noise, what do you do first thing? Are you going to face towards the door, or are you going to stay? Find a place that you can be hiding cover and have your guns ready. Think before. During the night, when you're stressed, you open the eyes, your plan is going to be probably just to shock and awe. Instead, you want to have a plan before, when you're cold, when you are in control. That's the idea. Anyway, we will continue this segment of the show tomorrow directly at the gun show, and I'll tell you more exactly what's going on there. By the way, it's a great gun show. It's amazing, huge, huge, huge.
And very excited about that part. That's the only good part of these couple of days, because as I said, I hate this freaking town, and the traffic, and the crowd, and the smell, and the attitude of the average person out there, and the crime. So, but you know what? That's beautiful at the same time, because it makes me appreciate more what I have in my regular life. I really believe sometimes I'm spoiled. Of course, I worked very hard for my life. It's not like, but I was able to create in my own life a place where I can work in the middle of nowhere, and being independent, and not rely and not being constrained to go in this freaking rat hole, okay, of a city to try to make a living. And I understand many people, unfortunately, have no other options, and I feel sorry for you guys. I really do. But at the same time, I know I'd rather be eating potatoes and beans in the middle of the wilderness and the peace of the nature than eating caviar in a freaking town like Phoenix. That's for sure. And I can eat, of course, both. But I don't even like caviar. So I'm happy with my pasta, wine, and coffee in Mojave County. All right, guys, you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. Do not go away, and be ready for the second part of this hour. We'll talk more about guns and what's going on at this Phoenix gun show.
If you love wealth better than liberty, the tranquility of servitude than the animated contest of freedom, go from us in peace. We ask not your counsels or arms. Crouch down and lick the hands which feed you. May your chains sit lightly upon you, and may posterity forget that you were our countrymen. The line in the sand, you know the time is coming. The line in the sand, are you going to watch while we're fighting? The line in the sand, just tell me now where you're going to stand. How much more you gonna take it? How much more you gonna fake it? Now you decide what you'll do when they come. They'll come for you. Seconds before midnight.
We are back. I am back into the studio here in Mojave County, Arizona. and this is the second hour. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. We'll talk about guns. Of course, I wanted to give you a little bit of the taste of what happened in Phoenix the last couple of days. The show, by the way, continues even tomorrow, Sunday. It's a really incredible show. There are so many vendors, and I tell you something, prices finally start to make sense, because under the hysteria of gun control and, of course, Hillary, everything was going crazy, and I don't like that for many reasons. I don't like it as a consumer, because I don't want to overpay for stuff, okay? Especially when it's just all this created by, unfortunately, something that shouldn't be. You know, I don't care who is in power there, okay? Our Second Amendment should never be in jeopardy. Unfortunately, it is. But the point is, there is also a lot of speculation, you know, and there is also the law of demand and offer. And when too many people want something, there is not enough, productivity, the price is going to go up. Now, finally, we have prices for the first time in a long time, especially in the firearms and, of course, into the accessories like magazines, that really they're good, the way it should be. And I tell you, in this way, probably vendors will make less profit. But also, first of all, don't forget, the manufacturer, the one that's jacking the prices up for starters. So it is about now quality. It's about good market. It's a good service. It's a good price, and it's much more stable, and I love it. So anyway, it was a great opportunity, a lot of great opportunities to buy, to sell. I saw a lot of exciting things like, for example, vendors out there. They don't even need to have a license. They can go out there during the morning. They shop for guns, just show the ID. They don't even need to have any paperwork, nothing. Just show the ID, buy the guns, and sell them. This is so beautiful. I mean, this is amazing. Private sales are beautiful, I must tell you. Anyway, regardless, now go back here a little bit into the news. What's going on? There are good news. You know, I think we can have really a great opportunity to take this country back if we all now push together. You know, this is not about parties. This is not about Republicans or Democrats. This is about freedom. It's about common sense. It's about our rights. It's about our Bill of Rights. It's also about our heritage as Americans. As I remind you, you know, many of you guys, you think this is the place the way it is. I tell you, around the world, there is no other place like this. And I've been going around the world for a while before I came to America. So whatever we have here, it is very unique. And we cannot let it go down. We cannot let it be destroyed by some elitist New World Order puppets that they want pretty much to submit us in sort of submission. The first thing they want, of course, destroy our Bill of Rights. And more important, they want to destroy our Second Amendment. So we cannot let it happen. I see that there are finally states are fighting back. For example, news from Breitbart, okay? Breitbart, they say it right? Oh my God, I always pronounce names so bad. Anyway, South Dakota weighs becoming the 13th permitless carry state. Think about the word permits. Permits, what is a permit? It means that you have not a right. It means that you still need to ask for a permit from somebody. If it is your right, you don't need a permit. Government normally, what do they do? What does it do, the government? It gets your rights and sell them back as permits. So anyway, South Dakota lawmakers will soon be considering permitless carry legislation, which gives them the opportunity to make their state the 13th to require no permit to carry a handgun for self-defense. So this is amazing because now we have many states that, first of all, you do not need anymore to carry a gun for self-defense. Excuse me, you don't need to carry a gun with a permit for self-defense. Okay, that's very important. Now let's see 1 second. South Dakota Governor Dennis Daugaard has not spoken to DeSantis' bill. This is the bill made by DeSantis, written by DeSantis, but he did veto a permitless carry bill in 2012. So this is a Republican, by the way. Governor Dennis Daugaard, a Republican, vetoed a carry bill in 2012. However, the permitless carry climate has changed considerably since then.
Gun Owners of America reports that 12 states now recognize permitless carry. Those are Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Idaho, Kansas, Maine, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Vermont, Wyoming, West Virginia. Wow. This is amazing. And let me tell you what's going on here. I really believe that we could face in the next few months, even maybe next couple of years, an incredible, let's say, almost peaceful revolution. Think about it. What if now we're going to have a federal bill that will allow law-abiding people who already has, let's say, CCW, concealed carry permit for their states, to be able to go through all 50 states, like a driver license. As I said, I'm not really fond of the idea of the permit, but that would be the first step to say, hey, it is our right. We already have already been cleared by our state as a sort of a background check to prove that we are law-abiding people. And we have the right to keep our arms even when we cross that state line, because the Second Amendment is a federal part of the Bill of Rights. It is not just some local things, okay? It's supposed to be above any type of state legislation. That's the bottom line. So that for me is very amazing time. Now, a friend of mine asked me, what benefits, why should I have an Arizona CCW? After all, in Arizona, as you know, you can carry a gun concealed on you without permit. Let me tell you, I was a kind of, let's say, I was almost fighting between myself, because I've been having since I came to Arizona, I took my CCW immediately, and I renewed it, of course. And then I realized, maybe, after the constitutional carry that we had the last few years, I don't need it anymore. But there are so many benefits. And let me give you just few, okay? First of all, when you have a CCW, and you, let's say, buy a gun through the store, to a regular FFL dealer, they don't need to go and call the FBI for the background check. All they need to do is show him your CCW. You're already being cleared by the state. So that's right there. It's a way faster way to buy a gun, okay? They don't need to call and wait. No, you show the CCW with your ID. So that's right there. I think it's a benefit. Number one, you can buy guns through stores, much easier, faster way. Number two, let's say you go and cross some state lines. For example, you go to Nevada. And by the way, always check and recheck, because if I tell you something now, things may change. States may change. The state of reciprocity, okay? But right now, for example, in Nevada, they reciprocate our CCW in Arizona. Is that great? I mean, you may not need to have this CCW in Arizona, but let's say you want to go shopping in Laughlin, for example. Why should you be out of the blue now a victim? Why should you be a disarmed person? Why should you live at home? So it's an amazing thing right there. As I said, always check. There are many states that they recognize the Arizona CCW. And I will write an article the next few days when I show you exactly all the states. That's something very important to consider. Now, what I was saying before, what if in the next few months, with this new administration, with the new president, and hopefully with these bastards of Congress, that they have no more excuses. The Republicans, they have no more excuses. Senate and the House, to pass a bill like this one, to create a sort of a federal bill that will allow reciprocity for any state when you have a CCW in your state. So that would be a great opportunity that CCW you take in Arizona is going to be, wow, super powerful. Another important thing, let's say also you go to bars or places where there is alcohol. Normally in Arizona, this is one of the most recent laws. If you go into places where alcohol is served, you can, of course, open carry, must be concealed, your weapon. But also, the weapon must be concealed with a CCW. So that means, let's say you go into this bar, you must have a CCW to have your gun concealed.
Very important thing, you must not drink alcohol. That's important. You're going to be there as an, you can eat, you can do whatever you want, have fun, but your gun is concealed. You do not drink alcohol. That's important. But this is a great step, though. If you have a CCW, you can do that before you have to leave your gun outside in the car. I think it's important when you go to have a fun time with your friends, at least one of you should be the designated driver for safety. You don't want to drink and drive, for sure. But also one should be the designated wake-up person that is not under the influence, is awake and in control to be also your backup. The person is going to watch your six. It's very bad, if you go out, you're drunk, you're tired, you're stressed. You're stressed, you're relaxed, and then not only you cannot drive, of course, but also you cannot carry a gun, and you shouldn't carry a gun anyway, because when you're under the influence, you should not carry a gun, in my opinion. But also you're defenseless, so you need to have somebody that can look at you for you, can drive you home, and also should be able to protect you in case you need. So that, I think, is a very smart idea. So right there, if you have a CCW, you can do that. You can be that person. So another important thing, there is a federal law that probably has never been observed and enforced, but one of the stupidity, that Clinton under his administration tried to do. If you go anywhere around the school ground, 1,000 feet, you must not have a weapon on you. Think about you driving 1,000 feet. Wow. Technically, it's a federal law, but nobody really enforces it. It's hard to enforce. But if you have a CCW, they cannot do anything. So anyway, there are many benefits. In my opinion, as I said, first of all, another thing I want to remind you. I've been pulled by the DPS a couple times, okay? Very little things. I never even get a ticket. But, they pulled me over. I was one time going probably a few miles more faster than I supposed to. But my record is clean, seriously. I never had a speeding ticket. I never had a ticket probably since the last 18 years, since I came to America. So anyway, when I got pulled over by the DPS, I think they have a system, because after all, the DPS releases the CCW, give this CCW. They already knew that I have a gun on me. They knew it. But also they knew that I'm a law-abiding person. Because when you have a CCW, the officer in front of you at least knows that you're already being cleared. You are not a felon. That's something I believe is very important too. If you get pulled by a cop or by, as I said, a DPS or a state trooper, they can figure it out that you have a weapon and you have a CCW. So I think they give them a little bit of better, they're always tense. I understand, it's kind of hard job sometimes. At least they know that you are not a felon, because the DPS, the state of Arizona, would never give you a permit, a concealed carry weapon permit if you were a felon or a person not allowed by the law to carry a weapon. So that, I think, is a great benefit also. Hope I can help you with that. Now, I will write pretty soon this article with many more details. Meanwhile, I want to tell you, if you want to take a look at the classes that we're going to be organizing very soon, in Mojave County, CCW classes. Well, please just go to my website, or at least just send me an email. One on my website, I will suggest you right now to go to lovegunsfreedom.com. I'm organizing a brand new website just for the CCW classes, where you can also book online. But we're going to have several gun shops in Mojave County. Among those, for example, we have Havasu Guns. That you can come there. It's a beautiful environment. We have a dedicated room. And I will go through it's going to be about 4 or 5 hours of very intense information about how, for example, to carry a gun, where you can carry a gun. Let me give you a little bit, for example, just a little bit of what exactly is the curriculum of this, because I think it's very important. But remember, carrying a gun, it's a great responsibility. With freedom comes responsibility, okay? So, the CCW class, it is not the end. It is just the beginning of the journey. CCW class is not going to give you in 5 hours the training that you need to be proficient, to be safe, to be accurate enough to guarantee that under stress you can engage a bad person, an assailant, and defend yourself.
No, it is just the beginning to give you at least the knowledge, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So let me read to you, for example, the curriculum that I created for these CCW classes. By the way, my CCW classes, they are called Arizona Concealed Carry Permit, okay? And let me give you just one story. First of all, if you are a single mom, I think I already said that before, and if you are a person with disability, okay, I will give it a class for you for free. Yes, this is my way to say, I love you, and I want to do anything I can to help, okay? Now, first of all, what I said, we have 5 hours in the class, and then we have the part of the range that you need to show that you can at least hit the target, okay? But first of all, let's go exactly in what we go into this curriculum. We're going to start first of all with a moral and ethical decision to use a firearm. Because this is important, because if you don't have it clear in your mind that you're willing to squeeze the trigger to take a life in case you need to save your life or an innocent life, if you don't have that clear, you're not going to be able to do it. It's a waste of time. And probably you're just going to be giving a gun to an enemy, to a bad guy. They're going to take the gun out of your hands. So it's something we need to start, for me, to completely get in your mind clear. It's a moral decision. Not everybody can do it. I mean, for example, there may be the people like the monks, the Buddhist monks. They probably never want to kill anybody. Even if they had to die, probably they would die, some of these people. And I respect that. If that's your decision, in my opinion, you should not have a gun. But once you decide that you have a gun because you make the decision to stop evil, to save lives, even if you had to take a bad person's life, for me, it's not even about killing somebody, it's about to stopping the threat. We don't want to kill anybody. We want to stop a bad person doing bad things. And bad things means deadly harm, serious harm. Somebody's trying to kill you. It's not just somebody's trying to slap you around the face, okay? Something you can justify. So that's the first thing we have. To try to, every one of us, start to think if we can do the moral and ethical decision to take that, shot in case we have to save a life. Could be our life or, as I said, an innocent life. Now, who can own a firearm? That's another important thing we're going to talk. Not everybody can own a firearm in Arizona. Okay? So something we need to know. Then, benefits of obtaining an Arizona CCW. That's something that we were just talking a few minutes ago. Now, basic firearms training. Believe it or not, I tell you, I'm very sad. And one thing I want to say, I'm not happy about the gun show. It's about gun safety. And we're talking about the number one gun safety rule. Always keep the muzzle in the safe direction. Always. Even if the gun is being emptied, even if you put a flag inside the chamber, even if it's been double checked, I also keep my muzzle pointed in the safe direction, even if the gun is a plastic gun. Of course, if I had to do some training like simulating, combat, okay, another story. But I always keep the muzzle in the safe direction. I see in these gun stores, or I see also in the gun shops, they put their hands on the muzzle, they put a barrel in front of their face, they muzzle everybody around 360 degrees because they think they have a little plastic flag inside the chamber and they check already that it's been empty. It doesn't matter. So we gotta go through the basic firearms safety that they are not basic at all if you don't know it. Very important. Now, then we go to the marksmanship fundamentals. What does it mean? We're not going to go through in 5 hours that you can. This is not about a training class about shooting. It's about give you the basic to at least being able to perform for the standard that the DPS, State of Arizona, demand. Okay? You need to hit a target a few yards. By the way, it's going to be very simple because you don't even have any time constraint. You don't even need to, present the gun from your holster. It's going to be directly from the ready. It's going to be a very simple task, but still, at least that minimum. So anyway, we will go through some basic, marksmanship fundamentals, the 3 secrets how to shoot a gun. Then we will talk, of course, about mindset and attitude. The bottom line is, you are the weapon. The gun is just an extension of you. So the mindset is the warrior mindset, okay? You never give up, okay? Not just because somebody maybe hit you or whatever, you give up. You don't give up because you're going to be dead if you give up. And also attitude, probably is the most important thing that education cannot change. I mean, I can share with you knowledge, I can share you, for example, tactical things, practical things, marksmanship things, all these things can be learned. But if you are a jerk, you think you know it all, that's something we cannot change. I mean, you need to be humble yourself. I mean, I always think that my learning experience never ends. Right now, for example, next week, tomorrow, and next couple of weeks, I will go to do more classes to be able at least to teach in a professional way. And when I'm teaching, I also learning always new things, even things that probably already knew. So that's the attitude, seriously. So then we will talk about types of guns and calibers. Find the gun that fits for you. So if you're a man, you're a woman, what type of hand do you have? What is exactly your lifestyle? What do you try to do? Do you work, for example, which environment? Caliber is very important. People say, oh, get a 45. You know what? Maybe I don't want a 45. Maybe I don't need a 45. Maybe my hands cannot hold a 45 or handle a 45. Maybe it's better to hit somebody with a 22 than miss it with a 45. That's the bottom line. So, there are different calibers, different options. The beautiful thing now, we have technology that really brings a great equalizer, even in these smaller calibers, like 9mm normally was always underestimated. And we will talk more, of course, during the class. Now there's great rounds out there for self-defense that they can really perform almost as or maybe even better, in my opinion, than a 45. So much that the FBI is back with the 9mm. I don't think that's kind of a coincidence. And of course, we know that now the U.S. Marine Special, what do you call this? The special unit of the U.S. Marines, they have chosen the Glock 19 in 9mm. So let's look a little bit about this. These people spend a lot of money to try to figure it out what is the best round. But regardless, I will give you different options. I don't care which round you get, what caliber. All I care that feels comfortable for you and you can afford to buy them. Okay, then we go to dedicated carry systems. How to carry with safety and efficiency. If you carry a gun for with a CCW, you better start to don't think anymore you can put a gun in your pocket or between your underwear, okay? That's not the right way. I mean, we heard stories about people shooting in their, in the lower parts because they were sitting down maybe at the church or or something like, some meetings. I mean, this is terrible. The stuff gives a bad name to gun owners. So, we will talk about how to carry a gun in a safe and proficient way that is easy to have access, but the same way is very safe. Now, we will talk, of course, about ammunition for self-defense. Then we will talk about the criminal mindset. I mean, the criminal people, they think in a certain way. Most of them. Some of them, they don't even think. They're kind of dumb, but the average criminal can think. And they have a very simple mentality. They are predators. That's the bottom line. They are wolves. And they're looking for lambs. So you start to realize that you better become another wolves if you want to survive not only just the encounter, but also you want to completely show him that you are not a victim. So that's another important part of this class. Now, color of awareness is probably the most important part of your training because you want to try to avoid that type of engagement. You don't want to go out because now you're a CCW. Say, oh, now I'm going to be, how you call them, the vigilante of the night. No, you want to stay away from confrontations. You want to hope that you never have to go into a fight. But if you will be forced into one, hopefully you have all the resources and the knowledge to win that fight. At the same time, how do you avoid a fight? Being aware.
if you are involved into, let's say, a robbery, or the mean robbery, you're a victim of a robbery, or you are somehow in that situation that you cannot escape, part is because it's your fault, because you didn't see it coming. And that's right there, it's kind of sad, because the best fight is the one that you can avoid. So we will talk about the colors of awareness. Very important. Then escalation of force. Think about it. You cannot just go out and because somebody, slap you in the face, you point a gun at them. Okay? Must be an escalation of force, justifiable. So there are different scenarios when to shoot or not to shoot. And we will do this practically. Okay? This is something you need to practice now. Then we will talk about the 21 feet myth that normally they teach you. 21 feet, the distance that normally somebody is trying to attack you, especially with a knife, could be the magic distance where you want to engage them. Can be really not much of a distance, 21 feet. We'll talk about that. We'll do some practical examples with a plastic knife or with a plastic gun. Then use a deadly force when you can shoot. Very important thing. We need to start to clarify. After the shooting, criminal civil liability. Prepare now before it happens. You think that if you shoot somebody, even if you are in the right, you think that your day is over? No. You're going to still talk to the cops. You're going to spend a lot of time. And sometimes you may even need a lawyer. So, something we need to talk. What to say, what not to say, and how to say it. Now, then we will go through related laws. Okay? I'm not a lawyer, but I will give you all the information I can to tell you, at least in Arizona, what are the situations that you must learn, at least the basics, that you want to avoid to do as mistakes. Aggravated assault, endangerment, threatening somebody, disorderly conduct, hindering prosecution, criminal licenses, reporting gunshot wounds, acting as a peace officer, warning shot. This is a stupid idea of the warning shot, this is very important to explain. Keeping control of your firearms, citizen arrest, domestic violence, and the famous Castle Doctrine in Arizona. So all these things we're going to talk seriously. And I remind you, laws can change. So it's your responsibility always to follow up to what's going on. And I will give you also resources where you can find all this information. Then finally, we will go through one more time the constitutional carry, open carry, who can carry, and where and how you can legally carry a firearm in Arizona. Arizona is a big place. You cannot carry everywhere. There are some places, for example, that you can't. The polls, the election polls, you cannot. And there are different other places, What if a private business put out a sign? You got to look at that. It's their private business. But if you go in a public building, okay, it's different. They must provide you some sort of tools if they don't want to let you carry. Anyway, now we'll talk about the preemptive state laws, okay, in the state. So it's going to be a very good class. Then, contact with law enforcement while carrying a firearm. How do you interact with a peace officer, with a policeman, or with a, DPS agent? And then finally, we have interstate travel with firearms and reciprocity, and final notes with useful resource. All this for $80. 5 hours plus range time. And as I said before, if you're a single mom, free for you, because I really want you to have all the opportunity to defend yourself and your sons or daughters, okay? And of course, if you are a person with some physical handicaps, I will do this for you, okay? Now, information. If you want to book your class, it's going to be happening in January 2017. Well, you can start to go to Havasu Guns. Go to Havasu Guns. Say, I want to do the class with luca-zanna for CCW. We're already booking places already filling up. Or you can send me an email, zanna@zanna.us. Okay, so that's very important. Now, we are ready for our number 3. We will talk with my friend from Norway, Renzo-celani, and sharing is a very interesting, story. What happened to him a few weeks ago when he tried to come to America for a seminar. He's a natural healer, and he will talk about his different approach how to cure people. And here we don't cure anybody because I'm not doctor, he's not doctor, but we give you our opinion. So FDA, People out there, don't get too excited. We're not giving any medical advices. We just give them the opportunity for people to use their brain and see what type of scam you are. That's my humble opinion, of course. Okay? You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. Do not go away. And don't forget, if you want to support the show and keep it free, you know how to do it. Go to freedomrifle.com. Look at our Freedom Rifle. They don't tread on us. Go to zannacoffee.com. Great coffee for Christmas. Great gifts. 3 beautiful different blends. You got a special. 3 bags for $30. All organic. And you're going to love it. I promise you. Okay? Don't go away. Ready for our number 3. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. Look at that. Ciao.
If we are too busy, we're too afraid. We already lost our soul. We're already their slaves. Now is the time to stand for our rights. Now is the time to pray and fight. Fight! Revolution, rebirth of a nation.
You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna on United States.FM network.
Here we go. Ready for our number 3. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna on KTOX 1340 AM. This is the hour about love. And as I said, in this hour, we can say pretty much whatever we want. The point is, on the show, we can say whatever we want. That's why I really ask you for your help, and I appreciate your help as listeners, because I'm not here relying on sponsors. I'm relying on you, the listeners, that we can create this format, that keep this format, that we can somehow pretty much talk about everything we want. The most, let's say, also controversial topics. There are no limits. The only limits we have, of course, we have to comply with this FCC for this, language situation. We cannot cuss. But beside that, we can talk about everything. And when I bring topics like, for example, about health, okay, I am not a doctor. And I'm not trying to give you any medical advice. And if you are out there, one of these FDA guys or whatever, don't get too excited. Because, what I'm doing here, I'm sharing opinions. And we still can do that, okay? I know I really have the opinion that, in my opinion, the FDA, most of it, at least, is like the mafia. Worse than the mafia. I think the mafia have more ethical. Unfortunately, the FDA is a way to control the people, the freedom of the people, to find ways to heal themselves. Corporations control the FDA, in my opinion, and I really believe they do that so they can pretty much sell the crap out of us, and we do not have access to real freedom of choice when it comes down to find how we want to cure ourselves. That's a fact. Think about it. You cannot cure the way you want. Do you? No, you can't. There are many type of, medical resources or products you cannot have access to. You will break the law. And that's the reality. And there's some, for example, alternative system of healing yourself, like even homeopathy. They're not even covered by the insurances, or most of them at least. So the point is, but there is much more. And there is much more that I think really we should have the freedom to learn and the freedom to choose. Now, this is for me the final act of love. When you have the opportunity to help your fellow human out there to find their ways. As I said, I'm not here giving you advices. I'm not tell you what to do. I just give you opportunity to find different ways. And then, of course, it's always up to you, to your responsibility to do your researches. And if that works for you, maybe a solution. And I tell you, when you're in pain, when you suffer, I believe that death is not the worst thing. That, after all, could be an easy way out. I'm not saying that I'm looking for death, but it's a natural consequences of our natural life. We're all gonna die, that's a fact. You're gonna be dead, no matter what. The moment that you were born, you know that one day you will be dead. And if you start to embrace this idea, you can transform something that normally in our society it looks like a dark thing, a negative thing, in a positive thing. How? Enjoy your life. Every day you have, be happy, be grateful. Do not waste it. Do not think you're going to be here forever. we've been given a limited time on this planet to do something. And it's up to us how we're going to fill this blank. So I tell you, enjoy this opportunity. Let's be happy, and let's try to do the most beautiful things we can in the time we've been given. Something that we will be proud, because we're going to be in eternity thinking what we've done. This is my opinion, of course, my beliefs. Maybe you have beliefs different way, that's fine. But my point is, the worst thing, in my opinion, when you're stuck on planet Earth and you're sick, and you don't find, let's say, the remedies through the regular medicine, and you know that you're still suffering. That's torture. I call that hell. So let's try to find alternative ways that you can somehow find some quality of life, fighting the diseases, fighting this pain and misery that we have, as part of the condition of our human body. Now, I have with me this gentleman that I already had many times, several times, and I met him, of course, always through the internet. Never met him in person, but I really get close to him for many reasons. First of all, of course, he's a great guy. He's a smart guy. He's a very sensitive soul, in my opinion. And he's very also an activist in understanding what they're doing to us. I mean, when I say the elite, this global government, from chemtrails to the total enslavement. On top, this guy, he speaks Italian. Even, of course, he's German, and he lives in Norway. And now we are talking from Norway. That's pretty amazing. So his name is Renzo-Celani. Renzo-Celani from Norway. How are you there?
Hello, Luca. I'm here.
Very good, my friend. We talked not that long ago. It was probably about, 3 weeks ago, after your nightmare experience that you had when you were trying to come to America just to enjoy a little bit of, get together in this conference where you were going to be a no-paid, let's say, contributor. I don't want to call a speaker. And you were, I just give it a short resume, the short summary. So you were held in prison for 24 hours at least at the customs, but not at the customs at the airport in Colorado. No, they sent you the special jail with your body there that was coming with you, and they sent you back because you did not have the right paperwork. Anyway, so my point is today is this, because I love so much Homeland Security that I really believe that we should give them the chance to understand a freedom of speech does not need paperwork, at least here on my radio show. And, I'm not trying to be sarcastic, I'm real, because, the selective enforcement of the law is ridiculous. We have our southern border completely open. We have thousands of unvetted people coming from around the world, especially from the Middle East, that we are here, they're coming here and paid by our tax dollar. And you were coming here with your own ticket, with your own passport. Maybe you didn't have the perfect visa. All you wanted to do is share your opinion about some of your information that you know, and they treat you like a criminal. That's ridiculous. That's why I want you back here today. I will talk less as possible. Believe it or not, I'll do that. And you will give us all the information in a simple way you can for us, regular people, to understand what do you offer as a person and what type of education you can give us when it comes to the type of skills that you have about the way you can heal people, or at least you could find a way to people heal themselves. Renzo-Celani, you got the floor.
Okay, we try to bring out something, which is that was a lot of points, but we try to bring them out. So first, when I came to America, I wanted to meet this friend, and I didn't know anything about the schedule or anything. So if we were going in a lab or if we were going to have a meeting with some people, then I found out there were some people that wanted to meet me, and this. So I ended up in jail in the night, and the paper that they said, you can travel free with the Italian passport, with the Easter. It wasn't enough for them because they were suggesting that I was talking and somebody was maybe making some money out of it. And even if I don't take anything home of money, it wouldn't be right for the law in America. So then we were sent back to Germany and to Norway, London. So that happened 3 weeks ago. But the reason what is behind, I think, is that some people don't like what we're doing. And right now, in the moment, about my life, I was in 2001. I was a truck dealer. I did buy big trucks and sell them to Italy, from Germany, from Holland, so all Europe. And we did new trucks, and we did used ones. And then my father got sick, so he developed an ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. And so in 2003 he died on it, and just before he died, people found out I was one of these people running around with healing abilities, because their pain disappeared when I was standing next to them. So I had to live with this pain for a while, and then I could give it away. Later on, I met some doctors which were interested in this, and they have sent me home with my with my dad. That was dying under my hands. I tried to exclude everything what was to exclude. The only thing I couldn't exclude was Borrelia, which is Lyme disease bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was researching that one, and I found out that it was coming out of a lab, the lab 257 in Plum Island. So it was an invention. This Borrelia burgdorferi is an invention of the American military. So even Ehrlichia and Rickettsia and all the other guys, the other bacteria, the bugs were coming out of the same lab. So there is German research behind, and a German guy that was Erich Traub is being brought to America after the war. So they gave him this lab, and they said, make us a good agent that we can use for biological war. Mm. And so when he left the place back to Germany to give lectures, like to be a professor, which is a PhD, he left his place, and some military guys were sitting on his chair. But what they did wrong is they left the doors and the windows open, we can say, in the lab, and the stuff escaped and came over to Connecticut. So Lyme disease was born in America in 1975. So in that research, I ended up with Dr. Dietrich Klingert in 2007, and suddenly he found out that I could see things that other people couldn't see. But I didn't know about it. So when he was injecting a person, I saw a line in the body. Mm. Yeah, it's like you must imagine it's like an X-ray picture I get, and you can see in the X-ray picture a line or a bone or something. And sometimes one of the bones is not the same light quality than other bones. And so this line that I described to him when I was laughing, he said, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "There is this line, and in the moment that you inject it, the line disappeared, and another line appeared, and this organ from before that was too dark, it just changed, and now the other organ is coming up." So he said, "You can see that?" And I said, "Why? You not?" So that was in 2007. So we discovered that I could see these things. So nerve system, bones, and muscles, and whatever I really concentrate on. And today it's much easier for me because I lived with it for almost more than 10 years now, from the moment that I didn't know that.
Renzo, let me ask you something. When exactly did you find out that you had this, let's say, gift? How long ago?
Oh, there was a lady that found out in 2003. It was around May or June. And my mother, she found out in February, March of the same year, of 2003. Mm. That was the beginning, because she saw my dad when I touched him. Yes. That I took all his symptoms, and he was getting a healthy color in his face that normally I had, and then I got gray and blue, and then he got my color. So we exchanged completely the symptoms.
Question: did you, in the past, when you were younger, did you ever felt that you had any special gift, or you just noticed this, as you said, recently? I mean, this is something that. Did you feel something before, when you were a kid, for example, when you were younger? Did you realize that you had something maybe the other people couldn't see or couldn't feel?
I remember that I played a lot alone, and I was good with myself. Mm-hmm. And I had a good communication with my dog, and so my dog was biting people, but he never did bite me. Wow. And I could talk to my dog, and he did what I said, and so there was a direct connection. Today I do that with horses or with other animals, mm-hmm. So they do the same as when I was young. But when I was 14 and I lost my grandfather, then I said to the Lord, I said, hey, you don't exist anymore for me. Because my grandfather, he was 99 times in hospital. And so 4 different hospitals wanted to make a big party on the number 100 when he was coming back. But he's been sent with 99 times, he's been sent home to die. So they had 14 days time. And so I said they could have even brought him in for one day just to have that party and then go, you know. And this didn't happen. And so I was a little bit angry and I said, Lord, you don't exist for me then. And so 18 and a half years later, I was standing behind my father and I did begin to pray because there was a tear coming out of my eye, and my emotions were changing, and I was sad, and I was a businessman, and I did control myself, but I couldn't control that situation. And so in the moment I touched him and I was putting the oils on his spinal cord, something was different. And so I began to pray, and I said, Lord, you know, I don't believe in you anymore, but if you are there, then give me a sign.
Wow.
And that sign should be not one sign. That sign should be change with me and him the pain and exchange it and put it on my shoulders. And so it was a longer prayer. And the conclusion was, if you exchange that with me and him, the pain and the status that he was in with the muscle atrophy, I know you don't leave it on my shoulders for my whole lifetime, and you will take it away one day. But if you give me that sign, I will never leave your side anymore. In the same moment, I broke down. I just broke down and I couldn't control my legs anymore, and I was sweating, and I had this odor like stinking of Lyme disease bacteria when you are affected, and so I got all the symptoms. And my mother noticed that.
Wow.
So that was my start, you know, and after that, people found out when they were standing next to me with menstruation problems, I got this pain. So I couldn't define that pain because which man knows about a woman's body, you know? So no one could explain what was going on. So I had to live a lot of situations to that one. And then I arrived in 2007 to Dietrich Klinghardt. 2008, I was with Günther Haffelder, who is a brain researcher. And I had some questions for myself. And in 2004, I was already in Basel with in Switzerland to see with there's some guys. They have a big community with people who are medium and healers. So I was making some questions, and I was treating some people down there gratis, no money. And so they asked me if I want to work there, but for me it wasn't the time to give up my life from before. I had a company and things, and so I gave it up in 2007.
Wow.
Dietrich saw that I could see things. Günther did see my brainwaves, and he said, we haven't finished with this guy, because there was something going on that he could see, and I said, like, wow, am I so sick? And so he found out that I had the ability to get in contact with people even on long distance, and I could pick up the symptoms, and I could change them in myself and give them back. So we ended up in German TV in 2010. Then I met Klaus-Peter Schlebusch, who was a doctor, and he made possible to see meridians with an infrared cam, which was working between 3.4 nanometers and 5 nanometers wavelengths. Then I met so many people after that, and I don't even remember who I do know, but it looks like I know a lot of people in the world and researchers. So I even called researchers when I saw there was a new study coming out. I just called Seattle, I just called Japan, I just called Israel, I just called South Africa.
Wow.
And yeah, because it was my life and interesting in learning, and it's not one thing to know. I don't go to study one thing. I don't like that. I like to study a lot of things, but not to the deepness. I take what I need, and then I bring it together like a mosaic, like a puzzle. And it seems like the steps I did in the last years, it was fitting all pieces. And so we ended up today with, after Renzo the healer, yeah, became Renzo the mirror man, they called me sometimes. One night, normally in the night when I was lying in the bathtub, my girlfriend Ellen, she was in another room, and then I just called her in the night, and then she arrives with a piece of paper and a pencil, and so she was writing down what I was saying in trance. Like I am awake, we can say, but for the brainwaves, I am in trance or in a totally healing state, and in the nights we were writing down a lot of things, and so for years. And one night I said to the father, because I called him father, I said, Father, there is a lot of people who are asking me if I can teach them the healing, what I do and how it's working, but there is no way, because I can't teach them the way of seeing the things. I can't teach them the way of going and feeling the things deep like I do sometimes. And for me, it's normal life. So there is no feeling like, oh, I'm better than you or something. For me, it's a normal life. I'm a normal guy. I like my cigarettes. I began to smoke when I was 16. I'm an Italian. I worked in the industry before. I'm an industrial mechanic. I became a truck dealer, and I was working like a plumber before. And so for me, I like my wine. I like my steaks. You know, I'm not one of these vegetarians or vegans.
Yeah, you're a normal guy.
Normal life.
The point is, let me stop you 1 second. This is important because, first of all, you know, the fact that you told me, well, let's give, first of all, your website, because you have a website that you explain a lot of things and people can get more information. I can also see some of these verifications that you're talking about. Give the website out, please.
The website is renzo-celani.com, just simple my name and then .com.
Okay.
And there is some testimonials and this. From some doctors, and they just have put it in like friends, like because we have spent time together and a lot of things happened, and so there is some testimonies of patients which were grateful, even from the U.S. before, because I treated them on distance, or when I was in Seattle as a guest in a house of a friend. So there were sick people sometimes coming, and we just took the symptoms somehow, or we made them better. You know, sometimes it's not a healing that you finish everything, but it's the doctor has got a plateau effect, so nothing goes more than this point, and it worked for 5 months, and then suddenly it stops, you know, and
Yes.
there is no benefit. But then I came around and I looked at them and I talked to them, and suddenly they can continue the treatment, and it worked, you know. So that's how they discovered me. And in 2015, I got, or 14, 15, I got this new mirrors that I am building together because of the bathtub events that I have.
Yeah.
And I asked the father, like, hey, can we not reproduce my hands? That was the question. If I cannot teach them the healing, but can we reproduce what my hands are doing? Mm-hmm. Because in the research with Professor Pop, I was even working with Professor Pop, people say he is the one that is being able to show that biophotons are existing. A biophoton is a little light particle. It's so weak that no one can see it. Mm. But the energy of an electron belonging to a biophoton, that is what they could measure in 1976 after they tried to show it is not existing. Yeah, they found it is existing. So that energy is to take, like, if you have a candle, one candle, and it's 20 kilometers far away. So it's like 14 miles or 15 miles far away, you know. And if you can detect that energy, that is like the energy of a biophoton. And so they could develop software and computer stuff and photomultipliers which were able to detect this energy. And then they measured my hands one day. But that was, I wasn't there to measure my hands. I was there to measure a bottle of water. what is the change in the bottle of water before and after treating it? But then they used me, and so I was the first one in the world to get documented in this lab. After 4,000 people have tried, and I was able to boost the light coming out of my body by 70% just by one thought.
Wow! So
and
how
so
do you?
Today,
if you want to, let's say anybody call themselves something, okay? I mean, just to identify what you do. And I don't want to start to give you names that they are not appropriate. For example, many people may say you're a healer. Many people you are a gifted person. I don't know. How do you call yourself when you, let's say, introduce yourself with the? I want to say. I don't want to call it a service, but technically it's a service. You're offering something to humanity, something that could be helpful to people. How do you call yourself?
That's a good question, because normally I don't like to talk about myself in that way.
I know, but let's say, hey, this is Renzo-Celani, and dot, and that's what I do. I mean, that's that's pretty much everybody, no matter what you do, if let's say I'm a radio guy, radio host, or I'm a sales guy, or I'm a songwriter, somebody's a builder, truck driver. How do you call yourself now, if you can?
I'm Renzo-Celani, and what people call me is that I'm a healer. But healer maybe is not the right word sometimes. When you see how many people in the world have a gift to do things like that, what is happening when I look into people and I am able to change them. So there is just a handful of people that I've ever met, and I met hundreds of them. Mm-hmm. And most of them have the possibility to talk nicely to people and they change symptoms or something. But there is people who say the self-healing mechanism is being triggered by a healer. So then the body comes to the point to do the self-healing. And I'm against that one. Because with the data that we had, there is being shown directly that it's even possible to direct influence something, not by the conscious or subconscious of the person, which is in front of you. Mm-hmm. So in that moment, I go a step back, and there is no really name or word for what we're doing. But what we can say, when we interfere with a person, we are making them more coherent. We are ordering a certain system which has been chaotic before. Yeah, so we go directly in this way, and with the mirrors we found a way to give a tool to everybody in the world to do the same as my healing hands are doing. So we opened the field, a normal boy, then becoming a healer, people jumping on him and whatever. But then I could give it to a larger group of people. I'm not one of those who is standing in front of his house and 2,000 people are passing by every day and giving a donation or something just to shake your hand. Or no, I'm not the Pope. This is not the point. I talk to researchers. I talk to physicists. I talk to dentists and other doctors and neurologists, and I talk to sick people. And sometimes there's babies which have autism. Sometimes there is Parkinson and Alzheimer's disease, and the most deadly one is ALS, and the cancer people. And everything has been possible today. I can say today, everything has been possible to give it a chance and to change it. Even cancer people had benefits, but not all of them have the same benefit. There is a point, not every time there is a point of no return, but there is a point of what are you doing for yourself, and what is the possibility what you can absorb from the outside, what you can take from the guy who is trying to help you. And there is some difference in the people.
Let me stop you 1 second, Renzo. By the way, listeners, you're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom with Luca-Zanna, and we have on the air here with us as a guest my friend Renzo-Celani from Norway. And this is so important. I'll tell you. First of all, I'm here. I read your website. I never met you in person. I don't know exactly what you do in person. By reading to your researches, more important to the testimonials, this is a lot of things to ask here. This is can be really, oh my God, this is like amazing stuff. That's all I can say. But as I said, I'm here. I never met Renzo. I never had a chance to see him in action. This is something I always want to say out there, everybody should do their own researches. But I tell you something, regardless, this is the beautiful thing about the show. It is about freedom of speech. It is about freedom, period. Because the point is, very well, in Europe and in America too, of course, probably the same level, if you try to even bring alternative ways to cure yourself or to heal yourself, you won't have just a letter in the mail. They come there with a SWAT team. Seriously. I mean, there are people, even in the medical profession, like doctors in Italy, that just because they had alternative ways to cure cancer they've been completely sued and tried to be arrested and removed from the board of the doctors. I mean, life miserable. So there is a special interest out there. They do not want to even explore the idea that there are different ways that we can heal our body. That's the scary thing. We should always have an open debate about everything. More important, we should always have the freedom to decide what we want to do. And it is not about you, Renzo. But let's say tomorrow I want to go to, I don't know, to the Himalaya guy and I say, you know what, heal me. Just because I am thinking that he can do it, it's my business. If I want to, let's say, many people, for example, they have alternative ways to chemotherapy. They don't want to do chemotherapy, but not the state will force you to get chemotherapy, especially for your child. I mean, that's not the way it's supposed to be. There are many different ways. If I want to cure myself with the marijuana oil, that's my business, it's my body. If I want to just do nothing, I want to die, it's my body. That's the bottom line comes down. But what I'm saying about you, I know you for at least, 3 years now, even from distance. And I've been doing researches about you. And I tell you, all the testimonials you have and these doctors that they follow you, it is not just an hocus pocus on opinions. I believe there is also science behind to prove it. It is very amazing. I think it should be for sure explored and informed more about what you're doing. Now, let's say, what is the average thing normally they call you for to be cured, and what is the most successful type of disease? And I can say here, you know what, I don't care what the FDA say, because you do it and people believe that it works for them, that's fine. You can cure people. Technically, people get better after they see you, at least most of them. And as I said, this is just my personal opinion, FDA. I couldn't care less what you think or not. So what is exactly the average, let's say, person approaching you? What type of disease they have?
Well, they come to me with everything. Chronic fatigue today is one of the biggest ones. It's called ME syndrome right now, or it's called chronic fatigue, or in German Müdigkeit syndrome. In the past, it was Lyme disease. That's what they said. Lyme disease makes these symptoms. You know, if you don't do anything against Lyme, it's these symptoms. But today I see it different. I see the microwaves. The microwaves nearly killed my own life, and I had to do 10 times blood washing by apheresis treatment and a lot of things.
Wow.
Otherwise, I wouldn't sit here right now and be healthy as I am today, because I was 3.5 years lying on the couch or standing up and walking 10 meters and like 35 feet, and then I must rest for half an hour. The next 35 feet I must sleep for 1.5 hours. So I went through all this process by myself again, and I had to live a lot of symptoms. And chronic fatigue is one of the biggest ones right now, and people are not smiling anymore. If you see people, if you look at them, to have a healthy smile, to affect the environment around you, you need 34 muscles in your face. And then you're coming in a pub, and there is a lot of bad guys sitting. No one of them shows a smile or something. If you're coming inside with 34 muscles laughing because you have told a joke to someone else outside, they all are affected and they all begin to laugh. So this one is infective.
Wow.
It's like an infection. And I have these people coming with no smile, and they're running around after and jumping around and smiling and having a new life after the treatments. So this has got to do with a lot of things. But one thing, let me come back. The alternative way of treatment, and remember this, it's so simple. We are not alternative. We are the originals.
Yes.
The alternative is the one from the last 60, 70, 80 years, when they came out with the stuff that they are pumping into people.
You're right.
Fleming brought out penicillin. But penicillin is a fungi. You know, it's a fungi. It's a kind of sponge when you want it, and that one is a natural one, killing bacteria. So we have a lot of herbs, a lot of things around. If you take propolis from honey, if you take the honey itself, if you take carder, there is so many things to detox the body, the cilantro and this. But the understanding of cilantro is really difficult, because if people take cilantro and they don't have a glutathione functioning system, they're gonna get worse. You know, and this is what I do. I just bring together the things, and when I talk to people in a seminar, when we try to explain the mirrors or we try to give some information or something, it goes all times in a different direction. We end up all times in a different topic, but people like it because it's a lot of information that comes out. And so we are the originals. We are still the same guys as 10,000 years ago, when we looked in the sky, when we felt the air, when we felt the things, and we said like, hey, you are sleeping on the wrong spot. There is 2 water lines crossing. It's not good.
Yeah.
Have a look where the cow is sleeping, and then there you must sleep. So the cow is searching the best places to sleep, and the old farmers did know that. They did it in Italy, they did it in Germany, they did it in America, they did it everywhere. But today you are forced to put your house somewhere in a place because they give you the allowance to build it there. So there is a lot of different topics. But coming back to the symptoms. There has been symptoms in the last 1.5 years, which have been, like, they got the chance to improve or to get healed, which I was amazed. After I asked the Lord, like, hey, can we reproduce my hands? There came 2 pictures. One was a pole filter, a polarization filter, and it was just coming in the air, and it was in front of me. And the other one was a cheap mirror, from every store that you can, like a round mirror that the girls are putting the lipstick on, and they're watching when they're sitting in the bus or something. So this little one fit directly into that pole filter, and I was like, what? Polarized light, linear light, sending it back by coherence. That's all. And then I went back into my old slides that I have, but they've never been published before I brought them out. Because the people from the International Institute of Biophysics in Neuss in Germany, they were a little bit scared to bring the data out. They said the time is not right for that yet. And I was like, okay,
wow.
You guys know more than me, and I don't know. So I had respect for them. But today I find out it was time, and now it's even late,
Yeah.
So I just bring these things out, and I just talk to people. So you can see on some of these slides what they were measuring, what they put together in data, that there is a normal coherence index of the hand, and if you look when I was concentrating on light coming out of my hand and I boosted it to 70% more, it was not the quantity, it was the quality, because the coherence index in that light that I was thinking about when I pushed my hands to force more light coming out, that one went from 0.38 to 1. So 1 is the best that you can reach. 0 is shit. So in that moment, 0.38 is a normal standard. 0.52 is a standard which is higher than normal, yeah? And I boosted it to 0.9, to 1. So that is actually the reason why cells and living organisms like plants and human bodies and animals can receive a healing, because that is a reboost. It's like take your computer. If you have an old computer, you have a body and then the mouse on the screen, it went like tick and it sticked. You cannot move it anymore. Mm-hmm. It was frozen.
Yeah.
Then what do? You push the button on the computer, the reset button. It went, Windows goes down, and it comes back up, and you can restart the computer. So the restart is the same thing as we are doing with our hands, with the mirrors. If a healer is really good and he can send his intentions, yeah? So that is what is actually happening. It's the coherence index in the people. And if you are quite okay with your own coherence, you cannot get a symptom, because you are regulating, yeah, in between. You have a lot of good, which is functioning by itself, plus you have the regulation system. A totally perfect coherence, which is like 1, is the best status that you can have. But it's really, really difficult to reach it, and it's nearly not possible to reach it. But in a totally possible coherence, like a 1.0, there is no regulation needed. That is what people have to know. If you are in the best status that you can have, and everything is functioning, you don't see anything happening from outside in your cell. The cell is functioning by itself. It's like a software which is running. Everything what is hardware is running, but you don't see anything happening from outside for the researchers. You only see something happening if there is a manco, if there is a point, something is wrong. Then you must correct it. The correction happens in a simple way. If you take your cell, and if you look deeper, you find molecules, you find atoms. The atom is getting unstable, yeah? And if the Earth would be the atom and the Moon would be an electron, which is surrounding the atom to keep it stable on its way, then the Earth suddenly begins to tumble. It's moving, okay? So the electron must jump in a closer orbit. If it comes to a closer orbit, it's got too much power. In that orbit that it is right now, when the Earth is moving, when the atom is moving, that is not enough power that it has. So jumping to a closer in a closer orbit, it must give some energy away to be stable on that little line around the atom. When it gives the power away, power is the tension. The tension changed into another wavelength, and it becomes a light particle. That's what a photon is. Coming from an organism which is living, like a plant, like an animal, like a human, then it's a biophoton. Bio is life.
Yes. So let me explain.
So
let me be sure I got it down right. So what you do, you give the opportunity to the individual to find, to start, like the reset button, like the opportunity to heal himself. It's like almost you give him the yeast, like when you do a bread, you know the bread, you put a little bit of yeast, and then the bread starts to, let's say, the dough start to get life and start to grow. That's pretty much so. Because the point, every one of us, our DNA has some limitations, some imperfections. I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to learn what I've been learning. That means, technically, we could be, for example, if the DNA could do the perfect job they could do, because that is the way they could do it, we could do it, to regenerate our cells like the way we were doing when we were, for example, a baby, your cell regenerates at different level. Then, though, the problem, when you start to get older, there is a magic time or a magic point of our life that our system, our DNA, start to not be able anymore to regenerate itself. And when you do not regenerate yourself anymore, you start to get different diseases. And everybody, of course, is propense for different type of weaknesses. Somebody may get cancer, somebody may get diabetes, or whatever we have in our DNA. But the point is, if we could find a way to somehow get in ourselves the way to heal himself, the way also we have already. Of course, we are not perfect. We are human beings. We're going to die no matter what. But there is a way that rather than getting an aspirin, or let's say to just, because normally what a regular medicine does, it doesn't really cure let's say, the causes of the disease. It just mitigates the effects. So you just like, you're going to remove these effects. You're not going to feel any more blood pressure because we're going to put it down chemically. By the end of the day, you still have the reasons why you have that blood pressure, high blood pressure, or whatever you have wrong with you. So that's pretty much what you do, I guess. Now, question, how do you operate? Because, one thing I understand, they told you, they made such a big deal at the customs here in the U.S., they ask you, and they may not even ask you, they told you that you do not pay taxes in Germany or in Norway, like it's something their business. Why they do really care, United States Customs Service, that what you do or what you do not do in the country where you're from? Question.
I think they must have searched and found something what they didn't like in the whole time. It looked like, when I put my passport in front of them, that I was on a red list. So there was an alert alarm coming up, and whatever is behind, it got to do with, you remember years ago when I called you about the barium levels.
Yes.
That you were speaking and you were talking about, and it was 460 micrograms per liter of blood and this stuff. So we talked hours and hours and hours and hours. So I was in the chemtrail stuff. So today we found a way how to harmonize these things, and there is other research that I was in, and it's not really welcome to bring things out. And so there was a friend after your interview that you made with me. She wrote down a 2-page article and she brought it out in Facebook, and she said, think about going to the US and this, even if this guy Renzo, that I know for years and whatever, he's a kind guy, like you said it as well. You know, I'm a normal boy, so I have my good sides, my bad sides, and my normal life and this, but if these people are not allowed to get into the US, something is really happening, something is really wrong. And with the tax stuff, I have everything I have at home here written. I can give it to the tax department, and what I was doing is I wrote down all the invoices and all the things and everything, so I printed them out. So I needed a special computer program, but I was not able.
Let me stop you 1 second. No, 1 second. It's none of their business if you pay taxes or not in another country. Honestly, it should even be their business if we pay taxes not in America. These people at the custom, they should be just protecting the borders from criminals and from people that they're supposed not to be here because they don't have at least the basic passport and things to have a visa. But the point is to start to even mention the fact taxes. I mean, they should mention the taxes to an American person. Okay, they're not the freaking IRS. These people are supposed to be the defenders of our borders, not the one that they're going to look into our pockets. Okay, don't get me going with taxes.
And they didn't ask me. No, they went outside of the airport to the person who picked me up to ask him, not even me. You know, and so I got all this information a little later, just a few hours later. But the thing is, they can check everything. So I don't know. I never, like I told you, I never have written to the guy that picked me up. I never took a telephone call to him, and we never discussed about what was happening. We just met for a few beers, and whatever was coming out was coming out.
You know.
So they asked me for a lot of things, and I thought, like, why? What is happening here? You know? And so they just control your totally life. It's like you are a glass person. And this is simple to explain sometimes. Every movement in your life is being recorded. If you have a cell phone, they can track you, they can listen to you, they can see through your, like now, I have my computer on, and there is a cam. They can see what I do, they can listen to it, but I don't give I don't care. You know, I don't care anymore, because it's part of that life. Okay. You want to know something? Call me, and I give you the answers. Yeah. You make a question, I give you the answer. So I'm standing here, right? So when I was calling a few days later, 2 days later after the Denver event, I was calling New Jersey, and I talked to a lady. And then during the telephone call, between 20 and 30 minutes after we began to talk, there was a lady in our telephone call talking to another guy suddenly. Yeah. And she said, hey, from this moment now we're recording, huh? What do you think?
Oh my gosh.
And she did hear it, and I did hear it, and I was like, okay. And my friend, she said, like, hey, what's happening now? I said, oh, they're recording. You did hear it. So next day, next night, the same night, I went downstairs, I opened my laptop, and then suddenly my laptop is on, which normally has to be I must push a password, a password in, and then it gets on. But it was on in the moment I opened it. And I was like, wow. And then my mouse was frozen. But there was another mouse on my laptop, and it was just moving around and clicking on this, clicking on that one, clicking on this one. And then suddenly it stopped doing that. Windows went down, and Windows came up again, and then my laptop was mine again. So they used it. Let
me tell you what I think is happening here. First of all, I don't mind what they listen, because I tell them here on the show. It's not like I am afraid or ashamed, but I tell you, I find disgusting that belongs to a Stasi, East Germany, Gestapo, this type of system. Because at least in America, we're supposed to have a Fourth Amendment, and we still have the right to be left alone unless we do infringe on somebody else's rights. What they're doing here, it's BS. What it's doing here, it's fascism. Because in the last 20 years, at least, let's say, since 9/11, with the excuse of terrorism, they destroy our basic American rights, human rights, enunciated in the Constitution, Bill of Rights. Okay, so I don't want to buy that BS that, I have nothing to hide, you can listen to my conversation. Screw you. If you listen to this conversation, screw you. All you fascists, because that's the bottom line. You are just working for the New World Order that's creating this global police state, that everything we will do in our life will be on record. And that's not what our Fourth Amendment of our Bill of Rights in America is supposed to say. Okay? So right now I say something. My opinion is this.
I'm here, and that's why I want to have you on the show. Regardless what you're saying, we agree or not. First of all, I agree. But even if I didn't agree, I couldn't care less. I want you on the show because I really believe your information, it is more than just somebody else's opinion. It's something that could completely put fear of God, if you believe in God out there, into the establishment, into big pharma, into the mafia of the FDA. I know these are strong words, but these are really behind every word. And I know these bastards, they're listening to the show. Even I'm a small guy, a small little talk radio show. I found pretty hilarious that in some of my stats, on my web stats, on my, for example, zanna.us, and also on lovegunsfreedom.com, I see Homeland Security IP addresses visiting the site. And these bastards don't buy anything of my stuff. They don't buy a song, and probably, they don't buy any of my other products I sell on my lovegunsfreedom.com. So what do I do here? Probably they are afraid that we can at least have the freedom to talk about everything we damn please. That's the bottom line. That's the American way, the way it should be, in my opinion. So I tell you, I'm glad I have you today on, because I want people out there listening to this broadcast, and also, of course, on the YouTube channel that I put out, dedicated for this interview, to listen to this, do your researches, go to your website, and give it please one more time. Give the website one more time, just to be sure we got it down.
It's renzo-celani.com.
Perfect. So go to renzo-celani.com, and all this information that Homeland Security was so concerned to have here in America in a peaceful, assembly of people to share this information, and they keep him, Mr. Celani, Renzo, they kept him in the jail like a criminal, in condition that, if you listen to my past interview, it's ridiculous. I mean, for God's sake, the illegal aliens, when they come from Mexico or south of the border, they give them more rights. They give them at least a hot meal, okay? They give them a lawyer, for God's sake, okay? I mean, this is insane. So I really believe you are enemy of the state, like probably I am, just because, first of all, you have been talking about things like we do, about barium in our blood, potentially connected to weather modification or chemtrails activity. Right there, put you on the big list. Number two, the fact that you are here bringing alternative, that you said that there are no alternative. Probably these are the original ways we used to heal our body, to our knowledge, and knowledge is power. Yes, we can, the bottom line, if we do not know things, we're always going to be slaves. That's really freaked them out, because anybody in the industry or the FDA, big pharma, they would have really, this stuff you're saying can find verification. I know they can. They're going to freak out. You're going to ruin their business model. That's the bottom line. So that's why I want you on today, and that's why I want to dedicate you the all hour on lovegunsandfreedom.com. If anybody has a problem with that, too bad. I couldn't care less, seriously. That's why we are here in America, and that's, I believe, even with all this fascism that we are facing, it's our duty to stand up and remind the government that we have freedom of speech. They like it or not. Okay? Now, I give you the floor. You got the last 2 minutes to wrap it up, whatever you want to say, Renzo-Celani from Norway.
We make it like this. We came into this show, me and you asked me to talk about the healing. But let's get some truth out, I think. In the 1960s, it was already been known what microwaves can do to people. And it was a test from the MI5 that I got the information from in Great Britain. They have killed 47.7% of all fetus before the week number 8 of pregnancy.
Wow!
Just using less power with microwaves, less power than a mobile phone today is using. Just to let you know, they could send you frequencies, and they have made a study that 3 hertz and 7 hertz pulses inside of this field of a cell phone, what we are using today, or Wi-Fi. They could make you schizophrenic. They could make you paranoid. They could make you sleep problems. They could make you heartbeat problems. They could make, like, in every cell phone, there is a 1 and 25 hertz technique involved. 25 hertz disturbs the eyes. That's why we are running around with so many glasses right now, and the eye disturbs. And 1 hertz makes you problems with the heart. So in that basis, I was involved. And the other one is, there is more than 50 doctors which died in America right now from last year in June and July. The first June and July, it was 14 doctors. They were all involved with research for vaccines. The vaccination was something that they were involved with, and they showed that the autistic kids gets vaccinated, and they have no Nagalasi before the vaccination, but they have Nagalasi after the vaccination. And that Nagalasi is active, and it steals 3 molecules of sugar on a GC protein. So you have no chance to develop a GC-MAF, which is a GC protein macrophage activating factor. So you have no chance for your immune system to steer something against cancer. And it even makes a lot of problems with neurologic diseases. So these doctors, they all died. And after it came out, the story, they still are killing people. I got the contact to one of the researchers in the lab, and he came to one of my meetings, and he spoke openly. And there is a lot of products running around in the world, and they're making a lot of money and a lot of things, but no one is really healing anything if they don't look on the activity of Nagalasi. So there is a lot of motives why I wasn't maybe welcome in the U.S. So we can say that one. The other one is the mirrors what we are using now are harmonizing something so deeply that a lot of people with chronic diseases, 1.3 million thrombocytes, is like you must have chemo, otherwise you die because your own cells are eating yourself. After one treatment, they went down to 900,000. So that means they don't need chemo. From 3,000, you are dying because you don't have them, because you're bleeding inside of your body. Every organ is full of blood. They brought them up with one treatment from 50,000 circa to 100,000, and now they're stabilized. So this person doesn't need any treatment. And it's just remirroring, showing the body from its own with a coherent biophoton. Only one is needed, and this is really important. Only one is needed to infect a system which is chaotic to become ordered.
Wow.
With an ordered system, you have communication. In the communication, the information is working, and you can handle situations in your life that you never thought about. There is so many things going on. I'm grateful that I could be in your show, Luca, and I hope some people get interested in this one. And we will see for the future if we can give out some more information.
Listen, I'm grateful, first of all, to be your friend and to know you and to be here with you. And I tell you, I'm happy that somehow by accident or act of God, I think there is always a superior plan. We met and we are here to try to share this information. I want to say thank you, Renzo, and thank you, listeners, for listening and for supporting this show. If you believe what I'm doing, as I said, you don't need to agree, but the point is we are here to share something that normally no other radio station or type of commercial station would give you. Please, I need your help. Go to www.zanna.us, and you know what you can do. You can download any of my songs for 99 cents, buy my ebook, or just whatever. Get my coffee, zannacoffee.com. Thank you very much, and God's willing, I'll talk to you next Sunday. Ciao.